From whence do I begin? As I think, and I think, and I think, from which window do I look? If I look out the front, will I see out the back? So I am blinded on the back side. So what if I put all my windows in front, and this one sees the reflection of the reflection of the reflection? Man is what? 8, 5, 2, 3, which number does he get? And why does he get a number? Well, I'm going to choose 2, 5, and 8. He's the 5 of hearts, for his center core is directly split over his sternum, which is 2 halves of each side of the ship, in which my sternum goes all the way down to the propeller. I'm almost down to my belly button. I've got this bone finishing here and going all the way to here. Sometimes it's a little scary to feel you got a big boner in your chest. I'm not sure where to start. Do I start in trigonometry from 1960? This book is about $12 today. How much more did they spend to make this book today than they did 20 years ago? Why did the prices rise? Why does the ocean rise? Why do you learn every single day of your life and forget at the same time? To understand, Coles tells you right away. In the series of Coles, it is a fact finder. C and O go together with L. Take away the C. O-L is first of Olay. Olay is ready to go. Oh lady, you ready to go? You're slowing things up. Why did I come on here right now? Because I wanted to cry earlier, but now I don't have it in me anymore. There is so much undiscovered. And I just started designing something new. I saw that they're throwing a Mars ship into space. And they're saying that the 2 time zones are not the same. Well, how could they be? One could be your blood system. The other is the water that's cooling down the brain. One is the earth that created your heart. Yet your heart is there, and we can't recycle your heart, but we can pass blood through it, slowly repairing it every single day, as slowly you strain your mind, pulling from the earth heart. But when the person is weak, or weakened, the mind is no more weaker, but we are slower, and we can't catch on to our own self. 3 is 3, 4 is 4. But 3 is only 3 because it's the center to the other 2 and 2. So 1 is against 4. And now you got the propeller with 4 sides open. And this cat's going to burn his hair if I don't put this cat on the ground. See what it says on the cat? Oh, never mind that cat. But wait, there's that cat that just ran away here. I have so many cats, I can't keep up to the pussy in my house. Is that nice? Because I know I have more than 52% women watching right now, and I'm really sorry that I had to say that. But I had to say that. You went to the movies today. What did you watch? Mr. Tackpans. What did he say? He said the word pussy. Pew! See? I told you. Pew, it smells. See? I told you. Pussy. It means to push away. What language are you watching me in? Did you know 32% of the women that are watching me are from the other side of the world, and pussy to them means something completely different? But we can all reflect on our best friends, right? Because without the cat in the house, man ain't thinking we're crap. Man ain't got a mind without the cat scratching on a pearl. And it's just so funny that one of my aunt's cat was named Pearly, and she was cat scratch fever. She was sitting down. The only thing she had to do is purr. Per quarter, per half. Did you know that if you turn something 1/4 of the way around, you have turned 8? You have turned a 360-degree cycle when you turn 1/4. When a V or an X gets turned 1/4, each of his arms gets turned 1/4. Each of its arms of that 1/4 of 45 degrees, 25 and 45. The letter Y, the letter T and Y. YTY, YTV. You want to start doing Sesame Street? I come in here with nothing to say, and I can sit and talk to you just practically all day. Probably won't make sense half of the time. It's incredible. What do we have in the grab bag today? What do we have in the grab bag today? Mr. Tacklands needs somebody to come here and work with him and open up this new site that we can work up, that we can see what comes in every single world. Okay? I never wanted to ask anybody for something that I'm not going to ask for now, but it will come up because the one who's going to survey this account will have to make sure that we all stay alive and humble. So what we're going to do is we open up Rubik's Cube. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't this fun now? Before I show you. So fantastic, eh? This is incredible. I see so much, but I'm so slow. I'm like a little turtle. I got cats jumping all over the place. This is my house. This is my kitchen. I got a cat on the floor. I got a cat on the counter. And do I have any cats behind me? Or whatever it is. Somehow they're straining me and they're taking something out of me. I don't know what it is. 5 more dice. Now we have Rubik's Cube. Boom. We have the face of Rubik's Cube. See the way this one's on the corner? We have to figure out what we can do with this. You see the dot in here and the dot in here? Take a good look. Take a good look. That's 8. That's number 8. The dot in the center is the digital dot, because that dot ain't alone. If you take away the dot, you're going to put it on the outside, but the dot has to turn within its own center. So what did they do? They put arms on a clock. They separated this side from that side. But everybody knows right away. We can't see, right? $13 marker, and it can't write. Whoop, whoop. Whoop! Oh my God, what do you see? What do you see? Because I had the center, and the bottom, and the top. If I had anything else, it would be different, right? Then the car would be beside us and go, ooh, shit, look at those mags. Looks like he's going forward. Hey, whoop, bang, hit the car in front of us. A figment of our own imagination. Fig? The figment? What did the fig mean? What did the fig mean to Jesus Christ when he went up the fig tree? Did he run up a fig tree? What did Jesus Christ do? Because we can probably start decoding that. With you, of course, because I don't understand. I say I decode things, but I don't decode anything. 1 from 4 and 4 from 3, and we look at this, and we say it's a decode, but it's not a decode at all. All we're doing is putting back what we think is missing. So we have the circle around this 1 and the circle around this 2, because he's 360 degrees. So when you do that, you make it a little bit bigger, and all of a sudden you have your 8. Right there. But you have 808. You know why? Because your nose is in between and your nose made a dot. You understand? Digital's on the outside, dot is on the inside. Create your 8. Create your 8. What about creating 88? What about creating a V? Do you know what's happening right now? The number 6 key has a V on it. So somehow the V of the hat of what's on the 6 says I am to the left and to the right of this number. So I am 5, 6, and 7. If they're 5, 6, and 7, what does 6 say? What does 5 say? What does 4 say? On the upper part. See, this is why I'm all over the place, and I probably won't get anything done. I'm not expecting, but I'm expecting something great. The greatest thing I'm ever expecting is to have somebody beside me, in front of me, and all over the place. And I say, okay, let's make a grid. Let's explain what I'm trying to say so that others can understand. You see, by having other people write other things down, I'm also going to learn, because things will be in formation. My mind will be able to have the mindset. So everybody's standing around. We're all doing everything, so everybody else understands. Even if I understand, I don't like the little window that I have. There's a V right here. There's a question mark, and it shows you, see this corner over here? If I take this corner and place it over here, it goes 098. 9 times 8 is 72. We live between 7 and 2, which is 1 and 2, and 7 on the piano, create a 9. You create the 8 and 9 by removing 1 and 2. Now our new start position is 3 and 4 over 7, which is 3 and 4, which is 10 and 11. 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 0 is 1. We've got this now included in 8 and 9. So we now moved Earth and Mars, which is the prism, and the house. If you want to see what happens to this, okay, we're going to turn 1/4. I didn't even get to the letter V yet. I didn't get to the letter V and what it means so much. Give me a pen. Somebody give me a pen. I'm all alone. I'm all alone here. Come on, guys. Come on, guys, give me a pen. I got too much shit in front of me. Okay, that's on the floor. That's over there. Let's just empty out this bag. Empty out this bag here. Yeah, and that also. And put this bag on the floor. Okay, okay. Did everything fall out? Yeah, a battery fell out. So let me put this battery in. Okay, now we're going to aim it down here, although I'd like to watch the two of them. In order to recreate, since we took out 1 and 2, 1 and 2 went over to the 7th gate, it became 7 and 1, and it became 7 and 2, which we've seen a couple of times, equals 8 and 9. Now our new position is between 3 and 4 and 8 and 9. Okay? So now we have 3 and 4 and 8 and 9. In between we have 5, 6, and 7. On the 6 key, on the 6 key is a hat. The hat shows go this way, and the hat shows goes this way. So the 5 says percentage. So the 5, it shows the percentage. The split line between two sides. So if I put the percentage sign here, and I put the percentage sign here, on this side, I now have my 6. On this side, I now have my 9. The reality of the distribution of this is actually what you do is here. Is when you go like this, and you go like this, and you go like this. And then you take this side, and you go like this, and you go like this, and you go like this. This is what happens. You create your C, your X, and your 2 V's in between. At the same time, you have the digital master 8. Why 8? Because V and V make 2 sides of one top of Rubik's Cube. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the V equals to the 22nd in the alphabet. 2 and 2 is 4. 2 and 2 is 4. The letter V and the letter V. In all actuality, this is not the real size of the V. The V would be more like this. Why? This is the Mercedes V. This is the Mercedes V. Let's go up and get 3 points for a field goal. 1, 2, 3. Between the 2 posts, we're going to go in for the field goal. Okay? This is the way we support it. Now what we do is we do the same thing. Okay? And, excuse me, we do the same thing, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And this becomes home. When we do the same thing, we drag the numbers this way and this way. And then we drag the number this way and this way. Then we drag the number this way and this way. Okay? Now it's almost like you're standing on your own V. It's hard to exactly describe, but V equals 5 in Roman numerals. V equals 22 in the second letter in the alphabet. V and V equal X. Now we flip the one upside down from the other one. So this, one of them, which is up, equals to 22. And the one that is down, now you see what the 27 was over here before, up and up? Now we're going to have to take one that's up and the other one that's flipped down. The other one goes flipped down. So this point that was once up here is now down here. These 2 sides are the same. Since this was up here, in your numbers is number 2. In the bottom is number 2. On the side is number 4. On the other side is number 4. Why? Because you're walking with it. Here you're going away from it, to face it and to unface it, and here you're walking with it. 2 and 2, 4 and 4. Your fingers. The reason of 3, because 3 is the cardio that walks with it all. It takes you all the way. So now what you do is to your V, which is the 22nd letter, plus you flip it upside down for the X, it now equals 24. But now you have X and X. Now your question in X and X goes like this. Can I get something to drink for a second? We're going to talk about X and X. I am so far behind. I have cleaning to do. I need to get somehow, I feel I'm obliged to get rid of my cats, although I have them in my house and maybe they're bringing me something. Maybe it's because of these cats, because these cats were all born, okay, on my grandmother's birthday, but she passed away this year at 99. So am I crazy? Am I not? I think. There's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of stuff to do. And I'm bringing you into this world while I do it fresh. Either you do it now, but I just want to show you one thing. Do you see what we did with that percentage? We brought the percentage to 6 and 9, but you only come in to the 6 through the 9 birth, which is in your mind. The 5, you come into the world. You follow Earth and Mars. Okay, we started with the 6. It had the cap above it, which is the V. Since the V above it, and we just established that this V, let me see. We just, is this better? Yeah. We just established that this V this way becomes 5 and 12. When we established that this one makes the X, making this one coming from down to up. So it's the one that goes up over here, where the 6 key is, equals to a value of only 2. That means you have to divide it by 3. The other question is this V over here, okay, if it was on a bigger angle or a smaller angle, the 45-degree angle and the 90-degree angle. I'll get my stuff. I'm going to get my stuff. If it's on a 90-degree angle and the 45-degree angle, the difference between the 90 and the 2-degree angles, okay, the degrees of the angles of the degrees of the angle, and Rubik's Cube. And Rubik's Cube, I'm trying to buy a little time. And Rubik's Cube, it also says Marvin Gardens. Marvin Gardens. And Rubik's Cube, okay? I'm going to show you what Rubik's Cube does. When you multiply 11 times 11 times 11 times 11, you get 14614, 61641. This is exactly counting at the beginning of the game. I am 1, I will go to the corner of the cross, and then I will jump across the bridge, saying I am in the center of Rubik's Cube. Number 14, 27 more if I had a second Rubik's Cube. The center of 27 more from the first Rubik's Cube equals to a total of 41. I need to carbonize my mind. I need to connect with the copper that they've taken off to make man forget about amber and how important amber was in Jurassic Park. Because amber is where he found the mosquito to recreate everything. Jurassic Park, where was it actually created? It was real. Just about everything you've ever seen in your life was real. One of the reasons it was real, it was duplicated for something else in a world that existed way before us. We were all here before. Most of the people in this world, they've been here before. How many lives can you get? Well, it all depends. The 9 lives of the cat, don't you think you would get 9 lives? Minus the lives you cannot live. Just in one life, you have 3 lives. You have the night life, you have the working life. But you also have the life of the mind, the life of the body, the hips. Have we ever actually really been here before? Well, in numbers, it shows that, yes, we have come here for every part of the face. We have come here as number 4. We have come here as the 1 and the 2, came with the 7th gate. We have come here as the number 3 crustacean. We have come in here in more ways than one in just one life. But the actuality, have we ever been here before? My cat. I'm just going to take a wild guess and say yes. We've all been here at least twice before. And one of the reasons for this, in fact, we may have been here even more than that. The reason for this is because Monopoly is 50 stars, okay? 50 stars, 50 stars, 50 stars, and 50 stars. And then in between, 50 stars, 50 stars, 50 stars. Well, because that flag has to be broken up in rectangular now. Those stars have to be flipped over. And there has to be a little space at the end. So you can move it over, then move it down, then move it over, and move it up, then move it over. So there's always going to be a space in between. When you get into that space, you can go to another angle in another world. That is the reason, one of the reasons they have triple and double in darts. Why they only have one reason in the game of chess. It's only how you feel is what you can do in the artist world. I know nothing of art. I do not know how to design. I don't know how to draw. I couldn't even draw a nose on somebody's face. But because of the letters in the alphabet and one of the dreams I had, which told me, turn everything into a bubble. Bubble everything out like you do with an almond. Draw like you have a walnut in your hand. So I began to do that. So now we're going to just take a little puff on this because I want to get back into the realm. Talking about the letter V again. V and V, which is 22 and 22, that makes a complete space. Once you walk in to the sidewalk off the street and walk along the edges, all along the sidewalk, all the way around, you are now walking on the line of 2. When you walk on the other edge, you are walking in the line of 2 and 3 because you're on the edge of the core. And when you jump to the other side of the sidewalk, you're still walking in the same area, just your coordinates are different, but the space is all the same. And SPACE for space is number 44. And the 44th president times 44 times 4 is 88. 88 times 5 is 440. That is where we are. 440 is a face. How do I know it's a face? Because this is what you have to do. You have to find the first of 2 worlds. One of them is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Then you go minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10. Then you go minus 11, minus 12, minus 13, minus 14, minus 15, minus 16, minus 15. Then you go minus 16, minus 17, minus 18, minus 19, minus 20. Then you go minus 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Well, not at 20. They don't start at 20. They end at 10s. But they start at 1s and they start at 5s. And you go back all the way till you've reversed the Monopoly game. Now you go all the way forward. The first 5, when you add them up, will always equal 15. Every 5 after that will equal 25 because you have gone to the second set of 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 15. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 equal 40. 40 and 15 is 55. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals that 55. To come into that world, you need 5775, which will give you 3553. 3553 times 13. 3553 times 13. I don't know if it's 13 or 15. Where's the pen? Where's the pen? 35 for 35. 35. Give me another pen. Oh, I got some nice, beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. Look at the colors. I got colors. I got colors. I got colors. We're the blue Guy Lafleur. We are the blue planet. Because we are the blue planet of the prism of Mars inside our head. We are Guy Lafleur who carries the rose, who had a little trouble with one of his thorns. So he remembers what life is all about. They just brought out a book on number 10, Guy Lafleur. 8 Neptune, 2 Venus. 8 Neptune was your hips that were drenched in water. You went to the ocean, you went to the bathroom, you had yellow water, and you had all kinds of energy that went out through your body. How does the energy leak out through you? Because of the deck of cards and the colors in the deck of cards. Guy Lafleur, Maurice Richard, and Jacques Leperrier, if I remember number 2. You have to remember the Canadians because they came out in Stanley Cups. Crazy, eh? I need to go into that area. If I don't go into that area, then I'm not going into my full cycle. It's crazy where it all comes from. It's just crazy. We didn't even finish with the letter V, upside down from the other one. V and V is space. The president right now is the 44th position. Once he walks in to number 43, remember me telling you you're walking off the edge of the sidewalk on the street? Now you're going around the time clock. You're number 3 and 4, Earth and Mars. He's come into your mind. When they jet blast this next spaceship, every man on this planet will be completely different. There's a change that is coming, the greatest change of all men. I'm not sure if it's the hatching of an egg, which takes 21 days, or it's the getting laid of a pig of 114 days, or it's the birth of a cat and a dog of 69 days. I'm not sure how many days after the launch when time will come back and connect. Because a chicken, when it has an egg, it can have an egg every day, but the egg will only be alive after 21 days. One of the cycles of the stars up above us. I lost my place from where I was. I'm not very happy. We're talking about the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm going to go back to the Montreal Canadiens over here. Okay? I have to go back. Where am I going? To ask. I don't want ask. I want Google. I want Google. I want to see where this is. My friends, where you want to go, we can travel. Where we travel, we will be together. As for myself, as for all I want is for myself, is to remember. I also want to take a shower and shave my beard and cut all my hair off. Shave my complete body. But I'm a little confused. I'm not sure which way I have to go. But I'm quite sure the confusion goes like this. Since we're all mind, and we have to feel good in our body, you do what you feel is right. I don't think they can get inside of us, but I also believe the beard, when you hold it, it gives you a way to relax. Instead of smoking, you play with your beard for 10 minutes. Then you put your sunglasses on, you move back, and you close the lights off. They want us to be thinking all the time, am I looking good? Should I do my hair? What does he think? This is what they want. This is what they're doing to me right now. So I have to blank them out and say, you stink. Take a fucking shower. Well, no one's here. You stink. You got to take care of your body, you jerk. Without your body, your mind has nowhere to sit in the prism of the world of Mars. Welcome to Mars. The banana-style party we're having of Rover. Because Rover, Red Rover, we want someone else to come over because it's only the part of the body like this we're coming in. Split apart. Because if I come in like this, I'm going to hug you and love you. But if I come in like this, I'm going to divide you and be part of you. I am a sliver of the banana. One side sits down. 4 go around. 1 goes up. Which side is what? This is green, 49. Equals 4. This is red, 27. 2 and 7, the 7th gate. Where did red meet? Where did red meet? 1. Blue 2 or Bluetooth? How about blue 2? How about 3? Depends what horse you're getting on. Then again, we've got Guy Lafleur, number 10. 10 blue. The only way to get 10 is 5 times 2, so it needs you. Where did you go 5 times 2? You went 2 and 2, and in between you went 1. You got 5. You went 2 and 2, and in between you went 1. You got 5. So where did you actually go? Do you see this angle that I'm holding this on? This is the only way. Can you do it this way? Yeah, you can do it this way. But you see this angle? Yeah, you're flying a plane. It's the only way you can fly a plane. But when you take Rubik's Cube, turn 1/4 of one turn, which makes 1/4 of every single one turn on the top, which makes 1/4 of every turn on the bottom. Because there's a top, and a bottom. Although they're both blacked out. Do you follow me? Blacked out. Only one side to see. But if you hold it like this, I want to show you. The only way to have passage on a moon, the most dangerous moons, are the moons of 1/4. Because the moons of 1/4 is this passage right here. This is the only way in. There is no other way in. Do you notice it's in the center? The biggest bend in the moon is actually in the center of the moon. You have this. The minute you have 2 and 2 corners is 4 up. You have 4 corners down, 4 up, 4 down. You don't have to count the down, only count the up. 4 and 4, 44. What's in between is the space. SPACE. 43 and 44. They're both in 1. 43, 44, 45. They're both in 1. 45, 46, 47. Well, guess what? 46 now takes a hold of 45 and 47 in between. Let's move over one more dot because we have to grab. The Monopoly game, when you want to take this one on the Monopoly game, okay? And you want to take your sides, you got to take your sides like this. In order for you to grab that one corner, okay, you have to do this. You're automatically, look, you're even touching the third one. You're touching each cube, but don't forget, this is not Monopoly. So this would be the train tracks. This would be the train tracks, this would be the train tracks, and look at all the tracks going choo-choo. I just want to show you I have my candle is burning, so I just wanted to show you my candle. So where is man's mind? Sitting comfortably between all kinds of crap inside of here, when the mind is no more than this, and the rest of it is a cooling system radiator, so you can think without getting a headache and burning out your cells. You can change your computer. You can change pieces and parts, but you can never get anything more than the mind you have. And in the mind you have, you must have support, and you must be cushioned. Like your ass is cushioned, so at the same time, our mind is cushioned. This is your mind. This is your face. Here's your 9 facets of your face. Here's your smiley face. Around over here, from this side to this side, you smile. Here's your mustache when it comes in real close to the 2 portals of the nose you breathe, just off of the sewing that's on your face. The crease on your face only shows up because you were put together that way. How do you think they put on your nose? Sew on the nose! Shit, it's quitting time! It's quitting time! We're not sewing on no more noses, it's Friday! Vendredi! In French. Or is it Wednesday? How do you say the days in a couple of languages? Then we'll figure out what it means. Where we can reconnect to and see if it was up or down. Didn't you know when you go to the bathroom in Europe it's upside down? Because they took it from another part, they said, okay, we'll put on Europe. Then the other side they say, oh, we'll put on Canada. Well, wait a second. Part of Europe is stuck to the U.S. How did we get Hawaii up there? Oh, when they were putting this together, everybody was a little stoned, so it ended up on a little bit of an angle. Part of the U.S. was up, Canada was all the way up, and you move it this way, you have one man to his 2 arms, to his dick, to his 2 feet. This over here is the distance between that he needs to comport himself. And if you look to it together, this is an eye, and this is an eye, this is the nose. And these are the angry birds. We turn. We turn. See the way one goes down, one goes up? But this, when this comes out, this, like this, has 8 corners, flat face. Okay, let's go flat face. 8 corners, flat face. Each one has 9. 9 times 9 is 81 is Venus. Venus, 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 Venus. It's all Venus. It's all adding this one or adding this one. If 9 is in here, and 9 is in here, and 9 is in here, we have 27. And 9 is in here, we have the letter T and 81 Venus. If we do it the other way, we have 81 Venus. If we turn it this way, but if we turn it this way, this one becomes 1, 3, and 3. 5 and 5. 3 and 3. You know how I know that? It's the first time I ever did it. Oh my God. I don't want to miss anything. Oh my God. Oh my God, I gotta do this. Oh my God. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Oh my God. 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5. I used to own a bowling alley about 20 years ago. And that was a bowling alley. It was 5-pin. Not 10-pin. It was 5-pin. There was no pins in between the 2 sides. Wow. Oh no, don't worry, I'm not crying. I'm just feeling my soul, that's all. Just let me feel my soul because it's so fantastic. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. I never want to leave that area. So now when you look at this, I only turned 1/4 of 6. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 4, because it's straight now. 2, 4, 4, 2. 4 and 4 is 8 and 2 is 10. 4 and 4 is 8 and 2 is 10. In the 10-10 world, because you need as much as the center world as the other compartment of you, because our soulmate is somewhere around this world. We are more than one. They duplicated us at the same time we were born with the other series of eggs in the woman's vagina. Oh my God. Virginia, I said. Did I say that? I don't like that word. I hate that word. I was talking about angina. Heart attack. What a terrible word. Having to make them the same. Do you understand why they made them the same when I said the words? And then you have angina, which is the problem of something to do with the muscle of the heart and the muscle of your other heart. So there's a combination of that. I can't exactly explain to you what it is. But when you do this, and the moon is full in the night, you see the fishermen hanging at the bottom of the moon trying to fish out for something from Hoover Dam. Well, somehow the Montreal Canadiens, like I started to tell you before, started to tell you, I hate to tell anything more than a story. I'm not telling you anything. I'm telling a story into the TV, and then you're watching the TV and hearing the story I said, because I don't want to tell anybody anything. I'll only tell a scenario. Make a round egg in a scenario, and this is the scenario. So we didn't get the Montreal Canadiens. We were not looking on here. So I'm going to look for the Montreal Canadiens, and then I'm going to come back and speak to you. So this Rubik's Cube in bowling is 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 1 and 6. 1 and 6. The one spirit is 6. All of a sudden, everything starts to take form. The one spirit of 6. 3 and 3. Why 3 and 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Any which way you want. 1 and 6. 1 and 3 and 3. 6. This one would go 13, 13, 31, 13, 31, 13, 13, 31. Add them up. Add them up, add them up. It comes into the time of the 13th president. You can also say the 14th president. You can also say he was the 13th and 12th president because of what Grover did to all my thinking. He made me go above and below. I was doing it before, but now I know I'm doing it for a good reason. Because of Grover Cleveland and Grover, who's hanging from the Sesame Street lamppost for the last 10 years that I've been doing this. Well, not actually 10 years, but I don't want to lie that I haven't started 10 years ago, but it's really in the past couple of years that everything seems to come to a formation. So what we have is 3 and 3 is 6, 7, 5, 12, 5, 17, 5, 22, creates a letter V. The number 22 in the alphabet is a V. Now we go over here, we have 22, and we have 6, 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. So we have 22 and 7 is 29. We got one egg, yellow. Yellow and it of Rubik's Cube stands for that number of 29. And also 5454. It's all 5454. 5454, 5454. Every single side. And then we'll have to go 135, 135. It says ace. 5 and 4 says the sun. Uranus has 2 U's and says sun. So there's sun in both worlds. So Uranus has to be the doorway to actually be able to go into the other world that might be behind us, might be the same time of us. In fact, there might be multiple worlds running at the same time. For every cycle of your life, you needed to be in contact with the other cycle of your life. So that would mean if we're running all 5 cycles of your life, then every 12 years, there is actually another one of you. Multiply it by 7, which is 3 moons of creation, brings you to the age of 84, the average age of death. 8448 is the Super Bowl we run into, and it is the number to recreate space. We bumped into number 38, which is the creation of man's mind, 3 of 2, 2, 2, and 2. Why 8? Because it's 6 and 8, 6 and 3, 6 and 8 and 3, and 6 and 3. Both parts of it. Because the opposite of 6 is actually 8. Where am I right now? I need another puff in the sliver. La la la. So how are we doing? So we have to go to the Canadiens. Not only that, the Boston Bruins. Everywhere where there's an ocean or a lake, Stanley Cups have been won. Los Angeles, I can show you something about Los Angeles Kings. That's crazy. I don't even know where this is right now, but I went shopping and had a hard time. I redesigned that, okay? It comes out to the Los Angeles Kings, and it becomes a bird on the left, a bird on the right, and one big bird in the center, okay? Big bird, Larry Robinson. How does it fit? He wears number 19. Number 10, the 2 worlds of the 9 birth. Do you see what's happening to this? Do you see the way I suck it in, and then it shines bright on the outside? It's like there's some kind of rotation because it's the air we breathe. Not only that, I took my cellular phone and I put it in the fireplace because it was finished. It broke, so I just put it in. It was smashed all over the place. So, I just wanted to see what would happen if I burned it. And it started shining the same way that did, instead of sucking in, coming in air. Normally, if something blows you, it just blows up and you see the flash, right? Not this. I'm telling you, take your cellular phones, put a couple of them together, take the glass out, take the battery off, take the back end, take as much plastic as you could off of it. All I want is the motherboard. But wait, I have an addition. I just had a phone call. Yes? Right. Okay, thank you. Notification came in. You can do this with the computer pieces and parts. Burn your computer pieces and parts, but burn them so it stays in a little round area of heat. So everything will sparkle together. I bet you're going to have alien contact. When I say alien contact, what it means is you get to connect to the fiber optic in the air you do not see because it's connected in every molecule of the breath you take. So you don't see the energy that it performs. You don't see what it does in your lungs. You don't see what the cigarette does in your lungs. The cigarette actually helps you because it's carbon monoxide. It cures and it takes apart at the same time. It also covers your lungs, and I don't know too much about this, but what I do know is that it makes an element that I can't even, no, because it was so bad, I'm not even going to go there. What do you see? What is it? Is it a 6? See the 6? See the G? It says GA. It says 1 and 7. If you really want to look at it this way, okay, you've got, take a look, this is the face. You remember the jewel you wear here on your neck? Every program we've ever watched, every Disney show, every commercial, everything you've ever seen, and complete of assurance, everything you've ever thought is standing right in front of you as a clue to where you've been in your life and the reality and truth hidden behind what? How small do my squares go now? You see what I'm talking about? I want to do Monopoly, or I want to do whatever the biggest thing is. You want to go to the Mayans? Do we break it down into one world, or do we make it all 4 worlds? We make it square. We square off this world, and whatever is missing, we'll just put an X to stabilize the sides. If we put an X within an X, we'll just turn it this way. Now we can stabilize both sides. What is not up is down. What is not down is up. All on the same angle, of course, no matter which way you go. This is how it hangs. When you turn one of these, you have turned one full day. Because every one counts for the same amount of hours as 6. In which when you turn the inside of a mind, it is not the same thing. This is your triangular mind. You must put a pyramid directly in the center here. When you put a pyramid in here, the point will be 1 point to 3 sides? Not sure. Because no matter what you put on here, you will have to split the next pyramid and put it on both sides of this one, and the top of that will join the bottom of this, and then you'll be able to turn around upside down. One pyramid upside down inside the head of the dog. In man's head, it's upside down, and it's spinning the other way. Because it had to fit on each side, and when it made the 2 dots on each side, it created the digital in between 2 sides. You see the digital in here, the X? See the X here? And now you have the X over here. We use both the same one in the center. There's so many things we can do. I don't remember them all at the same time. Right now I'm just trying to remind you of everything that we can possibly do that has reality within it. Follow? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, for all those who are here, I just want to tell you something that probably you could never figure out. And at 43, 43, 86, 72 of Mr. Tacman's, of course, because it all started from 72. And then we got to the cross 14 later, makes it 86. 72 to 86 to 99. 72 to 86, 14. Seventy-two, 9 times 8, because 1 and 7 equals the 8, and 1 and 2 and 7 equals the 9, makes the 9 times 8 equals the 72, in which 19 is the complete distance between 2 sides. 19, because we're now in 2 areas. We're using 1 from this side and 9 from this side. We're on the top of this one. And every time you go higher, the cube in this corner shrinks. and it's always the same angle. It just keeps shrinking and shrinking. The whole thing is, it's not shrinking at all. Although the distance from here to here is now no more than the distance from here to here. This is within its own realm because you've squared this off. So now there's a joint that will end up over here. And you grab this side of your joint, and you grab this side of your joint, and you become the joint. You put now your mind inside of this, now you become the joint on this side. It becomes 3u, which equals to 21. 3 of these cubes. 1. Sometimes I get the, where is it? Come. Oh, here they are. Oh my God. I know it's not fast, but when I smoke weed, my God, when I smoke weed, you ever see me like this before? Okay, shut up. Okay, when I smoke weed, and it doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit to get me moving. It's supposed to slow you down. I find things when I slow down. Slow down the car, I want to take a look. So I smoke a little weed, I slow down the car. And before I was passing by everything, and we were chatting, me and my wife, and we were just chatting, and he slowed down the car, and wow, look how nice Guy Lafleur is. I mean, the flower is, number 10. The 10 flower, because all the queens had 2 eyes each. But each queen has a flower. Each queen in the deck of cards has a flower. Each queen has a flower. Deck of cards. Oh, wait a second. I can't write and talk at the same thing, so you're going to have to watch me as I go. Deck of cards. Swimming deck. The deck. The patio. Wait a second. The deck. Oh, cards. A deck. You see, now you're getting exactly word for word as I think. Cards. The deck. We got to use the T-H. Electronic. H. 24 hours in the day. Oh my God, no, that's an I. And I equals to 27, and 24 equals to 51. No, that's not true. Why? Because before you put the last I, what did you have? I had I and I equals 18. Well, what did you have for H? Well, I had H and H. I had H and H. Well, you still have H and H, because this is where the H ends and this is where the H begins, if you don't want to count it. But because of roulette, okay, roulette says 4 rows. And then there's a separation. But roulette is different, because you see that over there on the floor? Well, hold on a second. You see that design on the floor? The red? Well, that's the roulette board. You see the squares? See the Y that's upside down at the end? You see the X that holds 2. It holds 2 red up and 1 yellow in between. That's where we're connected. That's the Twin Towers. That's the chalice in the Da Vinci Code right there. The chalice in the Da Vinci Code is right there between the red, yellow, and red. 2 parts of the chalice of 3. But all the way around, what is it all the way around? Is it 9? Is it 27? What is the biggest game we have? What is the biggest game we have? Okay? Whatever the biggest game is. I know we're going to find it. We have to understand the chalice. Okay? The chalice had how many sides? Had how many sides? And then not to bust the windows, it had to have something different on the inside. It had to be maybe square on the inside of the chalice. I'm not sure why it had to be square, but I'm going to tell you why it had to be square. Because in order for Rubik's Cube to run into a wall, it had to be square. If the other window is over here, you will run into that window with this one. How are we running this inside of us? I 100% know, 100% know, just to bring you back on this, is there a complete point like this? And no matter what you do, no matter what you want to tell me, when you're turning something around and you really want to hold it into gears and motors, to Jetsons, the gears and sprockets, how they become connected, how you have to have more and why you have more and why you have less, because you do this. I'm now onto both sides. I've made 2 dots. I've made a dot between 2 of your worlds of 1. Now you're my replica. But on this side, they do the same thing. Now you have the caps of the football. And in between of the football is this. This is your Rubik's Cube. This is the most square of your entire ball. This is what gets square enough that you can put the ball in it. That's why when you're able to grab it in the NFL and you throw it, and the ball turns around of 3 sides, making one side, each side, pointed. If you made the baseball like you made the football, it's not the same. This is round. This is one Rubik's Cube. This is one Rubik's Cube. I put it in, I blow it up, it becomes fat like a baseball. Now you play with the stripes. That means this Rubik's Cube, the exterior face of this baseball, and the face of this Rubik's Cube have to count from core to core, the entirety of the ball, even the height of the laces, because everything takes up its own space. How each one of individual and inside the splices of each one, the pitcher is trying to feel that each one is equal. Because when one is not equal, how much the better for inaccuracy of a ball that should have been straight, but it was a knuckler. He threw a long bomb in football because it's spinning this way. But if you throw a long bomb in football and it's spinning this way, you ain't looking for distance, my friend, because that point is pointing all over the place. If your football is going like this, which direction is it in? So therefore it can't go too far. But when it's flipping backwards, it's like a saw. It cuts through the air. So when they come in for the kick, they want it cutting backwards because they wanted accuracy. When she spins backwards, she'll give accuracy in the football. Splicing the air. Instead of throwing it and cutting through the air, you're not looking for distance. You're looking for another kind of accuracy, so the ball turns this way. So the football does one thing when you kick it and when you throw it. My friends, I don't know any of you. I want to just say that, yes, I know sometimes I take up time in here and you don't have time to watch me. Do not worry. If you're really that interested within your own heart, all you will learn is 1 and 2 techniques. From this 1 and 2 techniques, you have a year to go, my friend, to catch up to me. But if you have a good memory and all you do is the need to share within you and you're okay, then you'll catch up real quick. Your definitions do not come in thesaurus, not at least yet, but you will know that the pool balls start with 1 through 7, so we break things down by breaking things up by having just 5. You cannot have 1 and say unicorn and have 3. It is no longer a unicorn. But then we have the rhinoceros with the curved hook. He runs into somebody not looking, he's protected, he comes on down, he lifts him up, he throws him over his head. So he's really not looking to... Anyways, that's not what I want to talk about. This, the minute you turn this 1/4 of 1, 11, and all the corners that are 11 have now moved. All your corners of 9, 11 have now moved. In Monopoly, when you get to this corner over here, this is number 11, this is 10, this is 9, okay, of the property. But when you start the game, and you dice 9 for your birth, you only come to the one before the corner, and the one after would be the 11, and the one after would be 11, and the one after would be 11, and the one after would be 11. Oh, 9, 11. You throw 1, 9, 1 and 9, 1 and 9, excuse me. You throw 5 and 4 for 9, you get 5, 4, and 2 for 11. You want me to do that backwards? With 2, because they're all 2. 5 and 4 is on the dice. 5 and 4 equals to 9 in the 2 world. Now I wish I was writing faster and explaining, but when you put 2, 5, 4 together, you go into the 2 world and you bring out the 5 electric with the 4 delta. But I call this the delta sun, which is the elements of full sun energy impact. Diamonds, plutonium. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what I just discovered. The next time they bring something in from the sky, an energy from the sky, because that's what happened when the Twin Towers went down, look above the pictures. Don't look at the pictures on the ground. Don't look at the buildings. Look at the sky. Look at only the sky. You will eventually see a link that the sky has turned dark on its own. The reason it turned, because when it transformed and burnt off from one atmosphere to the other one, when you were talking about differentiating the light that is happening right now, the difference between the Mars and Earth, okay, the time link is because is first of all the water, okay, in man's head and the earth of man's mind, okay, water and earth, water, earth, Mars, Miss Mu, Mu. Water, Earth, Mars. Earth, Mars. It says we, because Earth and Mars, I told you, it's a square, and it's got this coming down at it, and that I told you is gonna it could sit on top of it. It could just be another square and sit on top of each other, and a post will go from one end to the other end. Therefore, you'll be creating. You're either going to create this, in which, before I said it had to split like digital, now they don't have to split anymore. You know why? What happens is this one goes right into the center of another one that's in between, and this one goes into the in-between like 2 Hershey kisses. But the in-between must have a ball. So this will fill in here, this will fill in here, this will fill in here. Now it looks like a keyhole, because you can't put the point in. The only time you can put the point in is when you put it on man's head and you put the top on it. How can I explain that? You either have to have the 2 where the time works in your clock, where your brain turns around your earth body inside your clock and makes these digitals and makes 2 dots. It makes the 7th gate become the 8th gate. Why? Because number 7, see this 7 this way and this 7 this way, here becomes the 8th gate. It's 2 waterfalls together. This is actually on the side. 2 waterfalls and 1 waterfall in between getting shot down like a Hoover Dam or something, turning this 2-7 world into the 8 world, bringing the 9 of center, okay, to 2 sides of 9. 5 and 9, 9 and 5. I wish I can explain it better. So now Earth, whether it's this way that we're on upside down, okay, and we turn all the way around. When we turn 3, we're turning 3. How can I do this? How can I do this? Okay. This, okay, this, you see, if you get to the 4th part of your head, you're sacking in the back. So you can't, let me see, you can't have this. What this has to do is it has to look like this, because you have to spread over the point. If you move this way and this way, you have to be held by something, or this way and this way. I know I'm not explaining this properly. The diamond in here is the Mercedes-sized diamond. What I did is I put them face to face, so it looks like a square. So now, if you just This is what happens now. Here's the 120 degrees. Here's the 120 degrees. This is man square. Looks like a dog, doesn't it? See the way you have 1, 2, 3, and one tail? And then you have one tail and 1, 2, 3. This can be referred to as the jacks we play with, which are the planetary, the jacks have the round circles on the end, and one goes on this side, and one goes on this side. Anyways, skip this. Let's go to something else. See this in between here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here? They all have it. It says 1776. This is the 1, okay, because the 1 gets taken out of the game. 2 goes into 7 and 9. Okay, 2 becomes the 4 2s of the world of 8, and Guy Lafleur. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2 is 8, and then 2 over here is 10. 12, 14, 16, 18. At the same time there's 18, there's this one over here, 1, 18. Because this is the one heart of the totality that makes everything work. Without this heart, there is absolutely nothing. Take out this, and nothing exists except for the surrounding of the part. And when you take this out, you remove this and this, and the cube. And the cube has only one side. See, now we can do it like this. You can do anything you want, but the floor won't move. If you're not turning it this way. If you turn it this way, it doesn't move on the floor. When you turn it this way, now it starts moving on the floor. So what are the things that has to happen for you to move on the floor and not move on the floor? I forgot to tell you something and show you something and forgot about something. We were talking about the H's and the ladder and the I's. In order to get this number, okay, 27, do you remember H 24, I 27? Because that's what it is. It's 888 of this one, it's 999 of this one, it's 222 and 2. There are 4 2's in here. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, by 2 is 8, by 2 is 16. 16. 2 times 2 is 4, by 2 is 8, by 2 is 16, by 2 is 32. 24, and the first 8, 32, to reconnect the ladder. You put one more 8 up, but the other 8 reconnects the ladder, if you follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming into the top of the 9th inning. We're at Chicago Stadium or Iowa Stadium. Oh, at the same time, before I go on, did you notice all the difference? There's an O here and an O here. Oh, you're still with me? Oh, great! I know I was watching the Smurfs the other day, and I swear they called Gilgamesh over in the Smurfs. I'm quite sure. Now, let me take this opportunity again to waste my time, but my heart cannot go forward until people understand and learn exactly how I think. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank whoever's still here, to thank you. Whoever jumped and came to this point, to thank you. And whoever's still here listening to the words I have to say, well, that means enough for me to say thank you also. Now, I've got like 20 markers on this table, all opened up, and I got to close some of them, especially the important ones. The ones that are expensive. And also, more importantly, I only have one. Okay, so where are we going to go right now? We're going to show you what happened to the HOHs of everything. This, my friends, is the top of the 9th inning, okay, when the home team has 24 outs and the road team has 27 outs. This, as a final number, tells me that the home team has won 8 innings and they have 24 outs, or the road team has had 9 innings and 27 outs. Therefore, 8 times 3 is 24, and 9 times 3 equals 27. 2 and 7 is 9, 8 and 3 is 11. Oh, that's the beginning of the 9th inning. That's the beginning of the 9th inning. 27 and 24 is area 51. What area is 51? Area 51 is here. This is not area, this can be also area 51 because the 1 connects to the 3. You see they have standing guards, 4 and 3 is area 51. So I don't know where 43 is, but this is area 51. Why? Because they have a standing guard, 3 with its own center, to the 4 of 4 standing guards, to which in this one has its own 5 standing guards to 2 with no standing guards. So they're missing 2 on this corner to be able to stand alone, because this is part of the fluctuation of your mind. This is the mind that this 5 will carry this 2 anywhere. This 5 will light up this 2. This one and this one will light up, and this one will light up this one. At the same time, they are all coming off one area, so they're covering the complicity of the ball. So this would be basically what man walks with. And if you take a look around the shape here, you'll see this shape. I have it in my designs, but you'll see, just go around this. Don't touch. Make a C. Make a C of everything. You know why you can't touch? You cannot touch because this is the barrier reef that you tie a boat to. You tie your boat on here, one on that side and one on this side. Okay? So you're never going to touch because it's 2 different ropes that you're tying. So you tie it and you follow the out and you go around, and this becomes an X. These become the eyes, and this becomes a ghost when you put a little mouth on it over here. Okay? So what happens is now we're in the 9th inning. So if we don't go up to bat, then in baseball's 9th inning, this is how it ends. This team gets 11, this team gets 9. Why? Because they have more outs. That means they played up all their chances. Well, this one had 2 and 6. They're still in life. They have 11. Ace, ace. They won the ball game. They don't have to play the 9th inning. So they go 24 and 8 equals to 32. Okay? When you have 24 plus 8 equals 32. When you reconnect this 1, 2, 3, 4, when you create this 30-second arrow in the day, man's life reconnects. So now he has H, O, H, O, H, O, H, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 8 times 4 equals 32. 1, 2, 3. See the way it makes the 3? This one would have made the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 3. See the way this one would close up to make this number? This one will make this number. The way they turn into each other and make a number, I don't know what it is right now, okay? But you have all the O's, O, O, and O is 45. Equals to 77. How on 45, 70, yeah, equals to 7 and 7. Why did we do H, O, H, O, H? Because we reconnected the H's, okay, which is H2O and H2O. H2O's, H2O's, H2O. H2O is also TBH, or TBH, which is beta time heaven, which is in the world we are, the world of 2, the world of 4, the world of 6, the world of 8, the world of 10. Once you got all 10, you got a touchdown and a field goal. Plus you got the extra point. But now they're showing you 12, that they want to get the beta because the systems are changing. The systems are changing, and so is Mickey D's. Mickey D's is changing. They will not make it into the new world with us. They will not make it in unless they change their complete menu and give the service back. They've completely taken away the menu and destroyed the service. I walk in there and I wait 10 minutes. So, but really and truthfully, you all know me. I can wait 20 minutes. I don't care. Just for those who are investing in McDonald's, but, well, don't worry about the investment market because that'll be gone too. Not because I said it, because the numbers say it. The numbers say it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work when somebody's making 5 times the money on your money and a place that can wait out as long as it could until it remakes its money, and at the end it works out so the banks never lose any money. Society is wrong. You see this cube in here? They show me one way of Rubik's Cube, but if you actually look at that cube, okay, that's the beehive of the bees that go in and out. I don't know all the stories. Anyways, I wanted to come back to what I was doing over here. Okay, where's my pen? So what I was doing over here is, here's the here's the I, 27. That's the value. The O and the O, because we can put a circle in there, those are worth 30. 30 because of the O mean all the outs in the game. What does this 30 mean? 30 means 30 outs. 5 innings in books. 5 innings played. 15 30 outs is 15 outs each. 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 15 in one hand of 5. The stone of the Saturns. Don't you get it? I'm too fast and I'm too slow at the same time. The Saturn stone says 15 and 45 on it. That's because of what it is. That's the way it works. If I can sit down, I'll be able to maybe try and explain it, but if somebody knows it a whole lot, I don't know it at all. So for someone to know it and to see it in my vision will drastically help out to break up and reorganize the visions of all, so we actually see what's in front of us, because maybe the whole vision of what's in front of us will change. Isn't this fantastic? Are you still watching me? Oh, you're all nuts. I swear you're all nuts. Still have this coffee. So, we created this baseball theme, okay? And I'm going to put this camera down so you can actually see it. And I'm going to redo this page for you. I'm not sure if you want me to. This is the best way to do it. I wish I just had a cam on top of my head. Here we have baseball. H. See, I'm not drawing on the line, but don't worry about that. H. 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 At the same time I draw all these H's, yeah, I know the video is getting long. There's my first eye. There's my second eye. There's my third eye. There's my fourth eye. Okay? And now we have these 4 eyes. We have no O's. All we have are C's. So we have H and I and C. C, H, I, C, K. Right? Is that how you do it after? Chic, chick, hick. You can also go K, because K means I'm starting over. How do I know I'm starting over? Because every time you have 4 C's, okay, 3 times C equals 9, I. 2 times C equals 6F. So now you want to know if. 4 times 3, you see this is the Earth-Mars thing, 3 times 4, 4 times 3. Each one entering 12, each one entering in each other's house. Okay, you know what I should do? I should end the video now, mark down a few things, and I'll just start up in the next video with this, because I don't want this to go long, and I don't want you spending all your time here. But we were watching CHIC, so I'm going to mark this that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 times C up. Okay? Now what this happens to say is, like this. This is a U. Okay? So in order to do this properly, I now have to turn this sideways. When they go east-west, they don't cancel each other's out. They stay the same. If I put them right on each other, if you take a look and I put them on each other, they'll all turn into the X, each and every single one of them. On one side, okay, because we go back here, if you take a look, it's the Jack. It's a Jack. This is all about the J. All about the J. And not only that, this line inside J says JAC right away. It says Jack. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times. 4 times C up, 4 times C down. Now when C is down, okay, see, that's where the question comes in, because 4 times C down equals 12, equals letter L. L equals 3 times 4 equals to 12, plus 3 plus 4 equals 19. So we have C and D equaling to A, B plus C plus D equals S, A, I. Instead of CIA, you have SAI. How does this work out? Because number 19 is A and I. S is the 19th letter. So you get C. At the same time, it says C, say. How do you say this? How do you want to say this? Sa'i? Sa'id? Oh my God. Has anybody been watching that program about the what do you call it, Homeland or whatever? Well, Saeed was one of the major characters. Anyways, we're going to go back to the HIC and bring it back to the baseball. Sorry about that. I mean, it's like saying, hey man, I'm going out to the movies. I'm going to watch one of Mr. CLEVLAND's shows. I'm seriously swear to God and all hell. Okay, all hell be my ass, right? Well, that's what she said. Say everything about my ass. Okay, my ass. All right. So anyways, let's intertwine where we are. Then, number 19 is the moon cycle. Number 19 is the 10 and 9 house. 3 times 3, 5 times 2. 5 times 2, 3 times 3, 1 is the triangle. This one is the center. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. All these are 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 22, 222, 222, 222, 220, 222, 222, 222, 222, 222. Wow, I got 2 here. So I have to have 2, I have to have 16. I have to have 8 of these 222s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. I should have 16. 16 times 222. In all fact, this is 2, 4, 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 2. 2 plus is 6. 2 times 2 is 2, is 4. By 2 is 8. We have 6 and 8. 44. V and V equals 44. 44 times 47, which is the time of Christ. This man would have to come at the time of Christ. If this number works out, 44 and 44, which means there's a replica to this 44 as the other 44. Who is the other 44? 44 times 47, 44 times 53, 66 times 47, 66 and 77, 66, 77 times 13 times 13. Oh my God, there's so many of them, but we're going to work on this one over here. Okay, this one over here. 4 by 4 is 16. 4 by 4 is 160. 4 by 4 is 16. 1. 4 by 4 is 160, 176, 0, 6, 7, 1. 3, it almost looks like 1776, doesn't it? 6, 13, 1, 7, 8, 9, 1933. What happened in 1933? 44 by 47, you're going to have 1760 because it's the same thing down here. 7 by 4 is 28. 7 by 4 is 28 equals 308 equals to 2068. 2068. Okay? But if we look at this again, okay, 2068, 6 and 8 equals 14. We've got 2014. 6 and 8 also runs 42 to 1010. 42 plus 68. 42 plus 68 equals 110. That's the top of the Twin Towers, the energy from the sky. But this time, it's higher than the last time energy. This time it's like 440 energy. What comes out of the sun at 440? 440 by 4 face. 1760, something to do with 1760 is coming out of the sky all around the world. What is it? What is it? Because of this number, 2068, 6 times 8 is 48, plus 6 and 8 is 14, equals 62. 49,094, 2002 times 47. This is time. This is a time where 1776 is inflicted in everything. Don't worry what it means. This equals this. This equals this now. This is happening now. These are the volts of 9/11. These are the volts coming out of the sky. Out of the sky or beneath the earth. Okay? 2068 equals 62, in which when you multiply 4774 times 13 moons, 4774, which equals 28, 28, 11, and 11, 28, 39, 39, 28, 2 and 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 16, and 10, 26. You add them together, it's the same world. Dog, dog, Z, Z. This one here goes back to 39, okay? 9 times 3 is 27, 27, 27 and 12, 27 and 12, 27, 27 and 12. 4 by 3 is 12, so all you need is 27. Okay, you can go to 39, but 39 is the triangle. 39 is the triangle that goes all the way around. This goes around once, makes 39. 52 is 1.25 times 39. Is that what it is? From 39 to 52. 4 13s and 3 13s, Earth and Mars. It's the joining of the circle, of its own circle. It overlapped its own self, it went back to its own area. This turns to here, to turns to here, to turns to here is 3 times, then you make it 4 times. While it's doing it 4 times here, inside of this area, it only does it 3 times. Do you understand why? When this goes from here to here is 1, to here is 2, to here is 3. This thing has made its whole turn. It's been turning around. The day has ended, and all you met is basically 6 hours of the day. And then this turns 1, 2, 3, and then you're over here. So if you've already turned around 6 times, and you only went halfway. So that means your day, you've went almost, if you want to talk about this in days, you went 6 days, and you're only going to make a half a day. By the time you come to the 12th day, you've made it back here on the 12th day. Okay, you come back on the 12th day, okay, you've only went 1 time around. 12 days equals 12 days equals 1 day. Why is it the 1 day? When in fact we go to church on the 7th day. We go to church on the 7th day. We haven't even made the 14th reality day in here. We made 1 day. We're going to have to multiply this times 7 times 7 equals to 84. 84 equals to 3 moons. 3 moons, 3 weeks, 3 days. The pig's pregnancy, 114 days pig's pregnancy. By the time we make it around, we're stuck between 84, 94, 104, exactly 30. Our creation has been stuck between the belly of a pig and between this nostril and this nostril of the pig. Why do you think you had the Lion King. When the king was with the pig, what did the pig do? He farted, and everything started up laughing again. KD, 11 and 4. Why? 5, 6, 7. Electronic mind. 5, both sides. Both sides get to the same mind, only one side is aware. Then you get the 2, 2, and 2. Your prism in your mind. Your mind, here, this is Mars. Excuse me. Somehow, it's a lot more than we know of a triangle. And on this, right, the green grass grows on this. So when it turns, all the filaments touch what's growing on the sidewalls. It's the same thing as when you have a child, but this is happening in your mind right now. You have a uterus inside your mind, inside of the channels of Mars. One of the reasons the women have I'm assuming that when the women's have their 50th birthday and 55th, this world over here, this fireplace down below, is changing senses up inside your head. Now this is getting more work up here. You no longer have the eggs dragging down the information, always down below. Just before your period, you get aggravated because the information is going away. It's like man's orgasm that takes out all his energy, but it's your period and in your mind. So you have to be able to mindset. So this would be Earth turning around. Now if it was upside down like this, upside down like this, the point, once the point is there, you see what it does to your lens? See what the point is? You can see 3 parts. You put a pincher. You put a pincher to hold it up, and she spins inside. But I'm still assuming she's hung upside down at the same time. So we were still talking about the baseball, okay? I'm going to go back to this page over here, the original page, and explain it to you. Here we have the 24 hours of the day. When we go 8 more hours, we have gone over this hour over here, over this hour over here. But this hour where we start to see the day over here, this part here, and this 4 hours over here is tied together. This is your real day. This is this 8 hours over here, you have 16 hours in your day in which you have your 8 hours here and your 8 hours here. You see this, if this becomes 8 and it's only 1/4, this must become 16, and this piece becomes 16, and this must become 8, and this must become 8 separate. 16 and 16 is 32. You've got 48 hours in one day because of this. Do you understand? The O is the cock-a-doodle-doo. But don't you see this design? It says COC, cock-a-doodle-doo, COC, cock. So this is the 2 eyes of the night. If you take the 2 eyes of the night as 4 hours and 4 hours, you're going to have to make 6 of these. If I make 6 of these with the letter H, that H will put me too many outs in the baseball game. I only want 24 outs for the baseball game. Should I make the letter F? Do I make the F and split it in half, or will the F become an E? Well, the E that is split in half is actually the totality of the 2. So we're going to have to leave it this way because the 27 and the 24 outs is the way I see, my internal eye sees. 3 hours, 1.5 hours overlapping. Where do I get 1.5? Because this is what I also do. Every time I see 0 somewhere, I multiply everything else that's next to it by 1.5. I never said that one, eh? If I did the left 1.5 and the right 1.5, guess what? 4 would be 6 on each side. I'd overlap by 1. So they'd intertwine on 5. What does that say? Don't know yet. I've got too many things just to bring out and go over, and I go over, and I go over the same stuff over and write and throw out and write and throw out, and eventually I learn from it, I hope, I think. Are we getting anywhere? I was at the store today. I said, how close to orange do I get? What is the photosynthesis about this inside the ground? Why does Bug Bunny have the greatest ears of all, standing tall with cushiony little feet, a beautiful little tail? He loves carrots. His orgasm is in carrots. So my brain must have an orgasm in carrots that grows underneath the ground. To a fish that goes underneath the ground, now they grow in the moist soil, one above the water and a little bit less water than what the fish grows in. We connect to the two worlds by drinking carrot juice. I don't know. Ask Bugs Bunny. Walt Disney told us a few stories. Some of them, they were upside down. So when the prism turns this way, it's even. The prism is even to every single part it turns around, and it's lowered into your head. And somehow, it's crazy, but it's like a meat grinder. It's like a meat grinder because you turn it this way, but it turns this way. And you're turning it this way. It's almost like taking moving pictures. Oh yeah, I see it in your eye. Somebody told me to stop my meds. I don't think so. Last couple of times I missed taking my meds, I swear, there was televisions in my eyes. I kept my eyes closed and go, holy fuck, what are they doing? They're on the horse. No, they're off the horse. They're in the boat. There were so many movies going on within 3 seconds. Could never stop the pills. Didn't happen once. It happened 3 times. But it only happened all at the same time. Because I need to stretch the inside world open and put a band on it. I've never had an elastic band in my life, although I bought. Everybody keeps putting elastic bands in my mailbox. This is Guy Lafleur, the two world of the flower of electronics. No matter where the electronics are, once your starter is not working on the outside filaments, you're not going to be able to start your car. All the elements might be there. So how do we get everything together? We start by bringing everything close to the center, where we have little teeth on everything, and it spins around. Instead of having to turn on a great big place and taking up a lot of information, we turn a little bit on the ground. And not only that, since we connected the top V to the bottom V like this, and it sits between not a square V where it can skip, because if there's more on an angle than a square V, you put the little ball in there, and there's going to be all kinds of holes in it. And little filaments are going to be sticking out. But the thing is, one's going to be up here, one's going to be down here, but it's going to be one. It goes all the way in here, it slips in. Now imagine this finger has all kinds of hair on it. Imagine the one underneath has all kinds of hair, and it turns around and it hits this lens here, and it hits this lens here. What turns it around? 2 minds going at the same time. One is probably sleeping in China. High cock and garnished. So we're going back to the baseball stadium, in which, forget about all the hours and where I dragged you, just let's do the normal 24 hours in a day. So we get 24 hours in a day here at H. Now we have to design the C letter, because 8 times 3, 8 by C, the reason we have it is the individual innings that you have, that you mark down your C. Now your C creation of one inning is enclosed in the other innings. As you notice, I have O and O. It counts for 30. They're in an egg tray. It's 15 and 15 in an egg tray. 15 outs for one team and 15 outs for the other team. Okay, that is the 5th inning each. And after the 5th inning, in a rain delay, when it rains cats and dogs only, will they reset the game. Otherwise, it ends after 5 innings are played. 30 outs, 30 in an egg tray, and 33, 3 and 3, 30 outs of 3 outs per inning of the 10 innings total played equals 33 multiplied by the 47. And when you multiply 33 by 47, you end up with 1551. You understand where I'm going? Let's do this again. When you take 33 of 30 outs of where you get from O and O, of where you get from H and H and H, okay, of where you get O and O. So you have 8, 8, 8, H, 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 or you have I. In between you have O and O. 24, 27, and 30. On 30, you order an egg tray at a restaurant. They give you 30 eggs. 15 and 15 are inside the tray setup. You get to the 5th inning, and there's 30 outs. You understand? You get to the 5th inning, and there's 30 outs. There's 30 outs. There's 30 outs. This is 21. This is 3. This is 1-9. This means the moon has shone on two teams of A and C, home or away, 1 and 3. When you put the 30 outs next to each other, it says 300. 150 and 150 forward 150 of A and E of all the worlds. First inning, second inning, third inning, all the worlds, 1 to 9. First you played the top of the first you played 1, 2, 3 outs, and then you played 4, 5, 6 outs, and the inning was over. 6 sides, 6. These 3 and these 3, then you turn it over for this one. There always has to be a space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is extra. Turn it over. Darts has doubles and triples for this reason, that there's always a space. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in the center. This is the piano. A, B, C, D. This is Earth and Mars. You want to go Earth? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're never changing position. 3 by 3 is 9. It's in man's mind. 3, 6, 9. If you want to go 1 and 2 and 3, because these are on the inside, these are on the outside. So before we spoke about this Rubik's Cube, where this one over here is 1, and this one over here is 2, and this one over here is 2, where this one on the side is number 3, and this one on the side is number 3. So this one in the center will be the average of 3, which will be the average of 2, which will be the average of 2, which will be the average of 1. Now when we switch 1 to 5, and we count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, we now have to give this one 5, this one 4, this one 3, 3, 4, and 5 is 12, 3, 4, and 5 is 12, 12 and 12 is 24. This way and this way is 24 is 48. We're back to the 16, 16, 16. We're only running 1/4 of the day. The minute you turn this Rubik's Cube, okay, 1/4. The minute you have turned this Rubik's Cube 1/4, okay, you have now moved every single one 1/4. Your day is over. You have 4 parts to your day. And while you're doing that, this thing is turning. By the time you turn around 3 months, the way I see it before, because 3 months equals 84, which is 3 moons, which is 30 days short of a pig's pregnancy. It's 30 days short. It's 30 days short. Do you understand? 84, 3 moons. 84 is 7 by 12. That's the cycle of the piano, okay? We don't do anything close to that. We may go 1 to the left and 1 center from the right. We don't really go anywhere. We go nowhere. Do you see what? First, let me show you this. Here's your, instead of 30 outs, it now says 300 UTS. What does it mean, UTS? 39 University. University, where is UTS University? Okay, where is that university? This becomes Ford 150. 0 is never 0, it's 5. It becomes 15. You remember what I said, 15? 15 times 15 makes 225. 225 is 9 times a quarter, which is the one face of Rubik's Cube. Do you understand that? 9.25 cents. How do we count our change? What can we do to make $10? What do we do to make $20? We already know that the Roman numerals has no number for 20 except for 2 X's. It tells us it's 2 separated worlds, regardless of how, where. It doesn't matter. Here's the steam line showing you the diamond is down, but the diamond is up. But showing you east and west of club and spade, because we run with the club and spade. This is the hockey. The reason why the Canadians won the Stanley Cups is inside of here. If I can show you this, it'd be a bird. I'd love to show you the bird. I just want to see for something. No, okay, this is tangling my head. You see how the energy tangles your mind? I put this on my head. It was twisting it. So it's how much we have to squeeze the water of our thinking inside our minds. Now, we were talking about the baseball. So I might bring the camera down here again and just show you one more time. So we don't have a rain delay until the 5th inning because there's 30 outs. And now you got H for 24 outs. And you got O and O. If it ends, it can end here because now you got O on one side, O on the other side. But O is water. You have water on both sides now, so you can bring both sides together. This is why they're pouring out Lake Mead. They're trying to bring the angle together. The more they pour at a certain strength, okay, it'll angle an energy to connect below with above. This world is pieced together like Rubik's Cube. They put the center into this world, they put Niagara Falls into this world, they put the cap on Canada, and they put the U.S. dangling in between with Colombia, like everything else that's in between, because the center, once it gets a turn, it gets all turns. The center turns the whole thing. And they have a tail. Okay, we're going to end it now. Let's end it. Let's end it. Let's end it slowly. So what we noticed, I'm going to be pointing to one area and then I'm going to write in another area. So what we noticed is H times 3 times equals 24. Then we noticed I 3 times equals 27. And you do notice that I'm showing you the I this way, but the H is this way. Why? Here's your H, okay? And here's your I. Well, can you figure out why? Yeah, because they're both against each other. Against themselves and against each other. To I and H, you both come into the game. We both hook up, Jack and Jack. We got 24. Now we have 2 O's. Each O is 15 and 15. Equals 6 and 6. 1 times 5 equals to 5. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. We now have 6 and 5 from 1 O. And we have total 11. 5 times 6 equals 30. 30. 3 times 15. Three times 15, because now 0 is no longer 6, because we're going back to my other style. If you want to bring it to a full formation, 30 times 0, 3 by 0. In fact, it might change. It might be times 1.5. It could be a little bit of a difference. Why? Because the 8 equals to 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. And when you multiply it, 2 times 2 equals to 4, and 2 plus 2 equals to your 8. That's how we bring it back. The multiply world and the addition world. From below, when you're in the center, you're going to get twice. Or you're on the side, you're going to get once. 3 times 15 equals to 45. This is the word for sun. 4 times 5 equals to 20, which is X and X. Because in Roman numerals, they don't put 20 other way but X and X, okay? Unless you want to go V and V, and V and V. Now remember what these V's are. These V's, when they're upside down, they're only an addition of 2. They're 2, they're 22. V equals 22. V equals to 2. If I flip this one the other way, this V will equal to 22. Do you follow me? The V in the alphabet is equal to 22. The V upside down, I gave it my own value of 2, because when I put them together, it equals to 24. So now when I flip it upside down, this value, it's plus 20, which is x and x, equals to 1 life of 20. X and x equals to 10 and 2. X and x equals to 10 plus 10 plus the worlds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.5, 10, 15, 20. 1 and 1. This is a value of 0.5 or 1.5. This value of 1.5 and the value of 30, of 15, now show you inside of this. This becomes circled, and it becomes your number 8. It becomes creation of a 7th gate. When you put it together and just do it down here, you have the 8 that comes out of it when you put the bubbles in, because the bubbles are the fish bubbles for life. You see the hat I put on top? The scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. And the Canadian $20 bill are the same exact elements. Something coming from up here. Now the question is this your nose over here? Something's coming from above his head. And all of a sudden, it becomes a bird. Guess what? It's a turkey. It's a turkey. Something about life has to do big time about turkey and the turkey, and the wool he's got pulled over his eyes. He's got a lamb on top of his head. The 2 lemons are his eyes. His 2 points are the 2 different sides of 8 and 8 of the 8 world. These are the digital dots. This, if you take a look and you put it on an angle, this is not a 7 at all. This, because it's cut off of this, it now becomes the letter F. See the letter F? Now becomes the letter F. If you ever take a look at the mug and doves and a lot of signs, a lot of them are not complete. So anyways, we're back into baseball where we have 30 outs. You see what happened with the total of the 30, excuse me, we had 15 outs. We multiplied it for 30 outs. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 30 outs. 5 by 6 became the 30. So we recreated that. Now the question is, total number is 11. What does that mean? You have to have, how many guys go to the plate to get this many outs? Well, if there's 15 outs, 15 men that went to the plate. So who didn't go to the plate? There's a number 4 missing over here, but doesn't matter. We showed you what this does. This makes this 45. This 45, okay, forget about the multiple. I'm going to add it with this 11, okay? 5 and 6, 11, equals to 56. This is this Lovejoy? Is this ISON? 56 and 56, okay, equals to 112. Or 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 5 and 5 is 10, 1 and 3. This is more like what's coming. This over here is KB. KB. What does that mean? In baseball, when you come to the 5th inning, you now have hit KB. It's an energy of some sort they get out of the ballpark, out of us. Something we put back into the air, that when we breathe, when we think, something they pick up from us inside our minds. The minimum amount that you need to get into the game is the 5 innings because of the KBs in your mind. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 11 equals to a total, 30 plus 11, if we don't do it the other way, equals to 41. this is what happens. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 9. So when you get into the 5th inning, you will now repeat the number 5959, E-I-E-I-O, and in the game we go. So anyways, we get back to the 9th inning. In the 9th inning, one team has 27 outs, the home team has 24 outs. You see what it says? I and H. Plain in the big O, O and O, H, E-O. E-O. It says E-O. 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 Who is E-O? It says H. H-O-I. Ha. H-O-I. H-O-I. At the same time, H plus I plus O equals 32. 32 is this number over here. Okay? 32 is this number over here. The winning team gets 11. The winning team takes home 9, or is it 11? I'm not really sure. If they took home 9, this would be 33, and that's all they needed to win. But if I added 11 to this, they would take home 35. Right. They need this one. This is not good. This multiple had to be 3 by 5 is 15 in order to count for this finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15. This one is also the finger, the creation. You have two spirits inside of this. This one is number 15, and it brings you to the 5th inning. If you do not say the 5th inning, you can't win. If this one wins over here with 27 outs, okay, if this one wins over 27 outs, this has to be the road team. How do I know it's the road team? Because in 9 innings at 3 outs, there's 27 outs. Home team only had 24. 24 Stanley Cups for the Montreal Canadiens of Guy Lafleur. So we had 27 outs over here. So this team, if it would have played 27, okay, if it would have played 27 the whole inning, there wouldn't be that extra inning. You see what I'm telling you? The extra inning that they did not play, so they got 11 for the inning they did not play. But if they finished the whole game, do they get plus 11 equals 38, or is it plus 9 equaling to 36? This would be part of creation, okay, the creation of the face, and this would be the creation of the 8. This is who I am as 3, 8, but in this world I'm 4 and 9. This is my mind. When I go back, this is my mind. 3 times 8 equals 24. 3 times 8 equals to 24, which was the same thing as the 24 here in the 8th inning. It just repeats it right at the end, and I've called my number. 8 and 3 equals 24. I told you about the 5th inning. This is the 5th inning. This is the amount of outs. This is the amount of eggs you get in an egg tray. This is the Monopoly. When you go around the board, Jesus Christ is 33. When you put 30 next to outs, it looks like STU. I need to know what STU is. I can tell you right now, this is 19, this is 40, this is 61. Oh my God. This is fantastic. So it would be a total of 361. That's utterly fantastic. That's the laws of Moses. 361 falls 3 days short of the 13th moon. But you don't want those 3 days, because that's the last cycle of your mind. You want to go home. That's where you want to go. So we start building how to go home out of a baseball field. The diamond in the rough. The diamonds get built this way. The diamonds, this diamond gets built like this. Now you play the rest of the field. This is 1/4 of your life. Is always spent in this area. You get 4/4 in all your areas. Apparently life is something to do with 49. Okay? So you, every 7 years, like somebody told me, we're only the age of 11. So if we're only the age of 11, that means every 5 years, equals to 1. So when you're 55, you'll equal to 11 years old. When you're 60, you'll equal to 12 years old. When you're 65, the age of retirement, you are now 13, you are now a man, you're allowed to retire because God retired on the 7th day. This is your 7th day at number 13. That's why man has a bar mitzvah. And then at the age of 17, you've been put back on the cross again. You're on the cross again. Now you're at 14 years old, you're on the cross of Christ. And then you come to the age of 75. Next year, the Hebrew calendar, 5775. When you're at the age of 5775, you went from 14, you now became 15. You now can retire to the big O, to the big O universe, H-I-O, E-I-E-I-O, to the Vernon's universe you became. You are now one of the eggs in the egg trays. You are now coming back to the universe. You become the egg in the universe, of the egg in the universe of the egg tray of H and I. Here's your O and here's your O. Here's the water of your universe. Here you are right over here, number 1 and number 1. When you circle of who you are, number 1 and number 1, you become number 8. Do your eggs separate now? What happens to your eggs right now? How do you jump? Do you jump back to the other area? 75, you equals to the age of 15. This is the 5th inning. We have not reached the 7th inning stretch. If we go down to the 7th inning stretch, 7th inning stretch. One team will have played 7 full innings and it'll equal to 7 times 3 is 21 outs. 7 times 3, the reason for 7 and 3. The reason for 5 times 3 equals to the 5th inning. But things are played in 5 and 5, it's 5 each. Anything you do in this life when you have sports, right, and you have an adversary or on the road team, anytime you play sports, you're on the road, you have another team, it's 2. It's always 2. It's never been less than 2. When you're in competition or someone else is in front of you, it's 2. When you're 2, you must think for 2. You must become 2. You must become 2 of the other 2, and you're 2. And then you must be given the answer of 1, which makes you 5. 7 times 3 is 21. 6 times 3 equals 18. The letter R, the letter U. It says the street I am on, Uru. What is Uru? Can we say it Urus? Or why don't we just say surplus? Oh, sorry. 7, 21. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 plus 3 is 10. Equals to 31. 3 and 1 says this team and that team. Team 3 or Team 1. It's the same thing, it's just the other corner because you're against each other. 21 outs and 18 outs, the letter U, A, and B. The letter U, A, and B. We already had 30 outs in the 5th. We already had 24 outs. We had 27 outs. We had 51 outs. You have up at bat, but that's not what we're looking for. We have 21 outs in the 7th. We have 18 outs in the 7th. This is the bottom, this is the end, and this is the middle. Middle song. Sing. Take me out. When you get to the 7th part of your life, when they say take me out to the ball game, I told you, it's all about 11. 11 times 5 equals 55. Take me out of the game, we're in the 5th inning. Then we had 11 times 6 equals 66. We're in the 6th inning. Then we have 11 times 7 equals 77. Now we're in the 7th inning. Then we go all the way up. We got 11, 8, and 9. 11 times 9 equals 99. Now we'd be starting over in 1. This is the 9th inning. Their at-bats will give 1, 2, 3 outs. First inning, 1, 2, 3 outs. First, bottom. 1, 2, 3 outs of the bottom. But it's actually the 4th, 5th, and 6th out. Why? Because the machine doesn't care. All it cares about what's number. It's just going to give you what's going next. Now I bring you back to where number 5 was the multiple that we, for every 5 years, we equal 1. So when you're 55 years old, it equals to 11 years old. Don't forget, 12 and under get in free, right? Well, now when you reach 7, 5 times, you're going to go to 75 years, equals to 15 years old. 15 times 5 equals 75. This is marked on the roulette wheel, okay? This is marked on the roulette wheel. Okay, so now we have 5 times 7. Now we're going to go to 85. So we're going to go 85 equals to equals to 17. 17 times 5 equals 85. Now this is the age that they put the highway speed up to. This is the age that the Pope retired. And this number, 5 and 8 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. This is the age things end. 85 when it ends. 85 is 84, 83, 82. It's 85, 86, 87, 88. These are the things when 8 ends. It's not 91. It's not 89. It's 88. Why 88? 8 times 11 equals 88. That's more the simple thing. 4 times 11 equals 44. And 4 times 11 equals 44. Okay? You know what presidency we're in? We needed the both 44s. Plus he was drawn twice because Grover Cleveland was 22. Equals 22 minus 22 equals 0. They're playing a game. Grover Cleveland must have did something that made us have to complete another cycle in order for us to see this 44, 44. 88, 88, 88. You see how we get 44? 44 out of 88 comes right out of 88. There we go. You got 44, you got 88, you got 77, you got 6, 9, you got everything you want right inside there of 44. This is why the cycle ends. This is why the cycle is over. So we're going to go back back to 5. So at 18, you have 17. But at 19, you have your whole moon back. When you reach the age of 95, you have come back into your own mind. They're not hallucinating, these old people. They're not hallucinating at all. They're just seeing the other side. That's all. They can no longer contact this side. They have now become dimensionized because they're on the other side or stuck in purgatory for some reason before we even live our life. The purgatory before the death of our life. If we don't live the life the way it should, or we do. Can you see right behind me over here? Look, it's the wild boar. Pumbaa. I know I kept you here a long time. I'm really sorry. But the baseball game, the 7th inning stretch, in the 7th inning stretch, when we come into the 7th inning stretch, okay, first of all, when we come to 17 outs, because that's the number of the queen, 17, it all began by A and G, 17, 71, the Tea Party. 71 minus 17 is 54, equals to the sun. 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 54, 54. This is all about the sun. In between here and here, and in between here and here, and in between here and here, and here, and in between here and here. 1 dot, 2 dot, 2 dot, 2 dot, 2, 5, 4. What does that mean? September 11th. Every single year except for on the 4th year. September 11th on a leap year is the 255th day. This is the day the Twin Towers went down. This is the number of the Tea Party, and this is what's in between. You want to put other things together? Well, we would have to put together 19 the way we said, because 19 is the max of 91. Well, our gates are 7 and 2. In between here and here is the gate. So we can't place 7 and 2. We have to take off 1 over here. We don't want to touch. So we take off the 1 on the bottom over here at 20, so we don't touch. So we don't touch 20. And we don't touch 90, so we touch 21 and 89. And 89 plus 21, 10, 10. How did it begin? 1 plus 7, 2 plus 7 equals to 8 and 9. 8 times 9 equals to your 7 and 2. This is the in-between life we run of this. 80, well, it wasn't, excuse me, it's not 89, it's 69. 69, 20 plus 69 is 89. Oh, we can't touch 20. We only can touch 21, and here we only can touch 89. Why is it like that? Because this is one side of the world, this is the other side of the world. It's in between the two sides of Rubik's Cube, so it's an empty space. So you need to move over one space here and one space here. So when you don't touch the two spaces in between would be 89 differences. But when you split this difference up, 89, sorry, would be 88. 88 and 88 and 20 is 109. This is 109. That's our mind. The difference between this and this is 72. When you go on the cross, you add 14 equals to 86. The difference between 8 and 6, this is planet X. It looks a little confusing, but it's not. We're going to go back, okay, we're going to go back to UAB, which was O-U-T, out, or outs, okay? So when you go, this was about the 30 outs, or the 51 outs, whatever you want to go, whichever scenario you want, the 5th inning stretch, 51 outs. So this is stools. This is stools. This is your buttocks. This is your ass. This is the 5-hole of your ass. 30 outs, O-U, 30, plus you have to have the O, would actually look like this. What are we looking at? We have U-T-S-A-B. A, B is U, T, O, and O. Oh my God, this is the mixing of the cards. This is the mixing of the cards. This is a boat. This is about playing poker, this one over here. Well, that's incredible. The 5th inning stretch, if the game gets ran out, you may as well run away and instead of coming home because the game's out, you'll go play poker under the dome. Really cool. So in the 7th inning stretch, okay, you have 18 outs and you have 21 outs. You have R and U and A and B and H and C and I. So what would we get out of this? Why do we get this? We actually get just R and U. Okay, but R and U fit A and B and H. So you would have, and this would be 39, so that would say C and I. So you have, so what does it say in here? I'm not sitting to think it out, but this is your 7th inning stretch. This is what happens. There's 21 outs, 2 and 1 is 3. There's 21 outs and there's 18 outs, and what does it do? It becomes 39. 13, 13, 13. The game is wrapped up. You can win the game here if there's a rain delay or a called game in the 7th inning, okay, just as the song sings. That would be a complete game. Years and years ago, they didn't have 9 innings. It was only 7 innings in the game. And that's why they sang in the 7th inning stretch, because we're not in the National League. We're in minor leagues. That's where man is, in minor leagues. 13, 13, 13. We're all 13 years old. A, B, A on the other side of the world. ABBA. When the world turns upside down. One of the songs in the world turns upside down. This becomes 1 and 3 because they are only a part of everything. I'm sorry, my hand's shaking. So when you come into the 9th inning and it ends, you have 18 and 21, and you have U and you have R. So you've got your I, U, R, I, A, B, H. What does that mean? What do you have? You are. We are something. When the game ends and we win, this one would make number 11. This one would be 9. U-R-I, do you understand what I'm saying? I have to break this up. Ruiabi, E-R, hair, H-A-I-R. Hair, H-A-I-R. Hair, A-U. Hair and water. Something to do with hair and water. Air and water. Air and water. 112. Air and hair and water. Yeah, I took you through a long thing, a long stretch. We're going to end it right now. Okay, 1771. Wherever you want to go, man, because you look what happened to me, eh? I'm all over the place. I stuck on this baseball thing in which I was showing you that 1771, okay, is 54 in between, which announces number 54. 9 times 6 is 54. 45 is the face. These are the areas, but the face. Add 1, 2, 3, all the way up is 45. That's the face of the fox. 1, 2, 3 equals an average of 2. Equals an average of 2. Equals an average of 2. You got 6 sides. And you flip it, you got 6 sides, right? But you want each side has to go up. Each side goes down. That's 4, 4, 5, 6, and you have to do it this way. You have to do it 12. Because this side was never up. This side was up, this side was up. Now you put this side up, now you put this side up, now you put this side up. Do all sides go up? In their own realm. But there's one here, and there's one here. There's one here. And they're all over you. And they all work in sequence of 3s. Why? Because 120 degrees by 3 as you move, you connect back together, connecting 2 minutes into 1. So everything I've shown in the last couple hours is telling you, really and truthfully, by the time you're 90, 18 times 5 is 90. I must show you this. I must, oh, there's so much. I must show you this. The world as we know it, the world as we know it is 9 plus 18 plus 27. Now we add, to reconnect this with this, is 36. This equals to 90. 12 times, 14 times 5 equals 70. Because we want to go into the middle of the cross. 4 times 5, the number of the sun, the number of the 7th inning stretch, equals, because you only have to put 1 man on base. In baseball, right, you only have to put 1 man on base in every single inning in baseball. In 9 innings, you only have to put 1 man up. 28 outs. If you're a visitor, 24 plus 1 plus 2 outs at home. Why? Because if you win in the 9th inning with 1 out, no outs, or 2 outs, you win the game. Otherwise, you're into overtime. Otherwise, you have lost the game. If you have to play 27 outs at home, it means you're tied or losing. So whatever they say in percentages, okay, when you're tied or losing in your home of the half inning, if you get better, if you get better than 50%, you are doing fantastic. Because half the time you won't be losing, giving you a 75% average. In which this looks like the average anyways. So okay, so now that we had 4 by 5 equals to 20, you're now 90 years old. You had a 4 and a 5. 4 is 18. This one becomes ADD. And now your child has ADD because these two came together. Came together where? In the manipulation of what's going on Earth. The manifestation of the mind made you ADD. Has nothing to do with a disease at all, except for what they did with Rubik's Cube. They twisted it around so your mind can no longer connect the same way. With proper treatment, you can come back to Rubik's Cube, the way Rubik's Cube has to be lived. Understand Rubik's Cube, understand your thinking, and you need help beside you, and you can pull yourself out of any ADD infliction that you have, because the body will repair itself. It's now in the mind. It's all part of the mind and the understanding of the difference and the doubt. When you have number 18, over here you have 10. 2 and 8, TVH. You have time heaven. You have 1 and 1. You have 1 and 8 is 9. 1 and 0 is 1. 91 equals 13 times 7 equals 91. So before you go on the cross at 13 times 5 equals 65. 65 creates your 11 and 40. You've created your own mind and your own mind and your own head. Spirit angel a man of 6 and 5, because 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 rotate around each other. And this is where you want to be connected. You want to be connected right here, right over here, and right over here, right over here. This is your prism. This is what's happening right now, and this is the reason for LO and V, because this creates your LO and V. Here is your O. Here is your L and V. This is the age of 65, and the reason they want to switch the age is because they put you back on the cross. They put you back on the cross in a society that you must work, instead of having a society that you use all the money that you have and whatever you could to be loving to everybody. They put you back on the cross. It becomes number 90. This 90 is now the piano. Why is it the piano? Well, it's a number system. Okay, instead of the piano, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to 15. Then we're going to go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this equals to 40. The distance between here and here was 25. Now we're going to go back on this side, and we're going to go 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 15. Forgot the 15. Do you remember what we did before? The eggs. See the 2 eggs? This one was a total of eggs. This one's a total eggs in one basket. Oh, we're going to decode, if you want, we're going to do the 12 Days of Christmas, and we're going to figure out that song exactly what it means, because it's probably a code of some sort. So when we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 50 in the 10 section, and we have 15 in the 5 section. We now have 65. Again, a distance, 50, double this. But the 15 is the same as this. So when we add, we go all the way up until we get to number 86 and 87 and 88 and 89, 1, 2, 3, and 90. This over here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You notice when you come to the, excuse me, 5, right. When you come to the last number, you've always connected to the next row. Have you noticed that? This one connects at 15. But this over here, you do 2 sides over here, and when you get to 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20, 33, 43, 53, 63, 70, this over here you get 90. When you add up your first 5, 10, 15, 20, it equals to a total of the next level, 15, 40, 40, then it'll be 65, then it'll be 90 to go 15 and 25 and 25, and it'll always go up by 25. So you're connecting your 90 back over here to the part of the 7th inning stretch, and this is roulette. This is the roulette. Okay? This is the roulette. These numbers come from roulette. Tic-tac-toe. You shove all the numbers into one box. 1, 1, 1. A football has 3 portions to it. Is it the football that has 3 portions to it? And the Canadian football, I think, has 2 portions and 2 ends. The diagonal curve of a football, of the Canadian Football League and the other football league, states in the football that there is 1 Rubik's Cube ear, 1 Rubik's Cube ear, and then the cap, and then the cap. As in the Canadian football is more like this, where you have something else. Other than having the Rubik's Cube inside, you now have linear space used in to bring the 2 sides with your 1 cap ear and your 1 cap ear. Do you understand? This angle here and this angle here will change between this and here because of the top part of the world we live here and the bottom part of the world we live here. It's almost like ribs on a fish. So now that we have this, we have 90. Now if we do this 4 times equals 360 of this part. But 4 times this would say 20, 40, would say 80 numbers used. Because I'm not ready for this. You know, I go 20, then I go 21 to 25, and then I go 26 to 30, and up to 80. By the time I reach 88, times 5 equals to 440. This is a flat face of Rubik's Cube. This is space. It's actually 444 over 333. It's 88. Why? Because it's linear. Okay, it's the football. Now we blow up the football, now we got the whole football. Okay, this, when we come up to 90, okay, when we reach 90 here, we've actually went, don't forget, 19 is the moon, we bring 19 into 20, and then 21 into 25, and then 26, and then 88, 26, and then 88, 26, excuse me, the 30, the 35, the 40, 45, the 50, 55, the 60, then we go to the 95, and inside the 95, we have 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Now, one of the reasons for this is because the football field is 100. But if we go to the Canadian football field, we're now at 100, and 105, and 110. Now, at 110, we now count up from 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, in which there's going to be a new count, because I'm only going to be counting 4 of them. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 510, 519, 527, 534, 540. Remarkable. Same number as this, 450, 940, 360, 450, 540. So we have one part of this, because it's 110, only one part of how many? Of 3 sides of the mind. So if you have 3 sides of the mind, you'd have 1,620, and if you had to recount the 4th side, you'd have 2080. 2080. So if we're talking about 2080, that's insane. Because 2080 in French is 80. When you have 20 and 20 and 20 and 20, you have this world of 2 and 20. You have this world of 2 and 20. So your 80 becomes 88. That's how we connect everything. And your 88, in French, when they say 2080, how do I explain that? Why did I get 20? 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 times 4. Because there's 4 areas of 5, 5, 5, and 5. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 equals to 625. Of the areas of 40, where you go out to 40 and you come home in 1, is 41 times 625 equals 25,625 of the Mayan count. Now I'm multiplying this, or bringing this to the 7 world. I'm bringing the Mayan count to the 7, to the 10, to the 13 world, and I'm going to multiply it by 3. If I multiply it by 3, I get 75,975. If I multiply it by 3, I get 3 by 5 is 15 is 6. 3 by 2 is 6. 9. 3 by 2 is 6. 3 by 6. So if I multiply it by 3 in its own state, 3 times 5 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6, 3 by 2 is 6, 3 by 6 is 18, 1 and 8 is 9, 3 by 5 is 6, 3 by 5. So find this in pi, and you will actually see what the Mayans are saying. We'll do the first 5 numbers here, we'll do the first 5 numbers here, and this is the guy holding the paddle of the boat over here, and then he's got the paddle on this side, and then the paddle on this side. These are the numbers in between. So it'll be 669, 669, 669, and this is going to be the size of either the baseball, or this is going to be the size of this baseball. Telling me that I can go to the side. This is where I start the ball. I turn the ball over this way. Okay, why do I turn it over this way? Because this is going to go all the way down to there. And then this ball is going to go all the way down to there. And this is going to be what I'm going to be doing with the ball. I'm rowing. So when you get to the Mayan count. So after that, if we bring it to the 7 world, okay, 25 in the 7 world becomes 52. 6 in the 7 world becomes 1. 25 becomes 5, it becomes 2. We get 52, 152. If it was 104, we'd have 52 weeks a year, in which 2 days on the weekend are canceled, and we work 5 times 2 days times 1 day. We have 5 days a week. 2, 1, and 2. Wednesday to Monday, Wednesday to Friday. And then Friday, we spend the day with God, but we're not spending it with God at all, because Friday brings us back to Wednesday. Brings us back to Friday. FWF, FWF, FWF. It's Friday and Monday? No. It's Wednesday, Monday, Friday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday. Now you have to interleague your 7 days a week with this. You understand what I'm saying? This is Wednesday. This is the middle of the week. We only have 1 day here is Monday. We only have 1 day is Friday. So we start off here, we go here. We go here on Friday, then all of a sudden we're praying to God. Then we're coming back, we're going over here. Then we're going here. Now we actually can't live here because our mind twists around this. You're actually going from here to here, like a record player that goes round and round and round. And you notice the way your feet are now upside down? And you're running with your arms in the air and you're trying to keep up. Because you're jumping around the record. You're running Monday and Friday around Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday. Inside your head they got you running around in circles. That's why we're always confused. So anyways, we got 25, 6, 25. But to complete the game, we're bringing it to the 10 world. This one's 8, this one's 5, this one's 4, this one's 8, this one's 5. 13, 13, 4, 4, 4. This is the end, my friends, of all the times that we'd ever thought there was going to be an end. This is the Pope, and this is everything. This becomes 40, 4, and 40, which the other way around, you see this over here? Divided by 5 is 88 times 5 equals to 440. 5 cycles of your life, 5 times 11, equal, 5 times 8. No, hold on a second. 11. 11 times 8, which equals 2 and 8, which is K and H. Something to do with Kandahar, time heaven, the cycle of the moon. This 3 months that we spoke earlier. And the 114 is the Abraham pig. There's the 30 days of creation, which would be the 5th inning. This would be the 5th inning at 84 because of the outs in the inning. Here's your 440, or the hospital ambulance, where 44 turns upside down, where a 4 becomes a jack, where a 4 becomes the swastika, where if you put them high enough and just put an I in between it, you now have C and O, a C and O. If you put this like this and do this like this and use up its space, now you have the grinder in between the 2 teeth. 25, 6, 25 is 7, 6, 7. 7, 6, 7 is 55 and 55. This is the jointure we have played. NASA is going up to drag an energy. They're going to drag the energy from somewhere else down to Earth. That's what they are going to do right now. That is why the river is flowing up in Herbert Hoover Dam. I spoke about a lot. We went about 69. We went about pi. I was a little bit all over the place. We were going number 440. Well, the 440 is a connection between the 15 and 13. And I'm 100% sure about that. In fact, I've never been more sure about that. 440 is a connection between the 15 and the 13. And it also brings you to number 19 and number 25. It also brings you to Laurentide. Oh my God. It's the Laval Bridges. A city not far from me is telling me that the 440, which connects to the 15 and the 13, makes number 28. 15 and 13 on the roulette wheel both connect to 1 and 7. 1 and 7 is the spirit of the 7th gate. The spirit of the 7th gate is Mars. Because when you draw when you draw number 7 and number 1, you end up with 4. When you draw number 7 with 1, you end up with 4. That is the 7th gateway. Something to do, they're going to be bringing in the moon. Remember the angle of this. Remember the angle of this. Look, this is the angle they will come in on. When the moon hits 1/4, you see they can go right through it. You can't see it. But if I close this up, they can no longer make the hit. This is one of the reasons that NASA, okay, writing an essay in your book, okay, that's the reason they got to take off 10-9-8-7. They got a 2-hour window. This is the window. If they don't take off and they miss the window, oh my God, should they miss the window? One of two things will happen. You're going to see what's in this world. You will see completely what is in this world. We are being dragged around inside that space. And that's the space you need. You see your mind? The 3 parts of your mind? The 3 parts of your mind? See the triangle, the 3 parts of your mind? It's reminding you. Your mind is split apart by this 9. 9 divided by this 3. 3 times. 27, 27, 27, 27. 3 times is 81. Venus, your mind has been split apart. You're running more at 6 than anything else when you should be running at 10. Guy Lafleur has the flowers on the cards. When you look at these cards, they have flowers on them. And the flower is the queen. I can't let you go until the cards are dealt. Sorry to keep you here all this long. We can do a lot of stuff. I don't know how much I got done. I know I brought up a few fine points if you can find them. But if I don't do this, and I don't share, one of you is going to notice something. Imagine, this is the reason I'm doing this. Imagine I have 100,000 people watching, and everybody finds 10 seconds of something good, of something that makes sense. This is why one of the greatest reasons why I'm doing this. Imagine if we had something set up that each one of you can actually place in their own bridge of their own world. What can possibly happen? Of course, we're going to do the basics. Times 3, times 4, times this, times that. Everything will have its own home. All you have to do is open the book and say, which home are we entering into? And everybody will put a piece in. And then the grader of the puzzle will grab that piece that it knows. It'll mark someone's name on it. Not because we want to show off, but that's how they classify all finds, right? They found something on the moon. They classify all finds. Everything that's found, everybody gets a number and a name. Your name is going to be on it. The whole thing might say Mr. Tacklands. Doesn't matter. Your name is on your finding. How in the world do you think we're going to be able to find every single piece that got put together without the better understanding of everybody? And those who watch do not think that you are in the bleachers, because the encouragement of the eye is the greatest of all encouragements. More than finding anything at all is the sweetness of one's heart, taking out their mind to see one. I really appreciate it. Look, a breakfast sandwich. Look what it does. It shows the outline of tic-tac-toe. Anybody ready to play? 2 cards. Now when I look at these cards, does anybody know what they're going to tell me right now? This is going to tell me my future. 100%. Because I'm going to look at it and I'm going to want to see what's in it. The minute I see what's in it, I'm going to guess what I think it is. Right away guessing what part of my future might be. I can say it's nothing. But I want it to be something. Because I'm going to look at it. And my eyes are going to see. And my brain will not deny, and neither will my eyes deny that it has seen something. So for whatever they see, my eyes and my ears and my nose, gracious gratitude for you all my life to see certain things. Not about my tongue, because my tongue, not only did I burn it with the spices, but I spoke slanderous words when I was younger and in my age, in which, am I unhappy about it? To this day. But, the people say I don't care, but I do. What should I do? Swim in my own shit? Don't you worry about it. We're already swimming. When the mind is working, everything turns into goulash. I'd like to know how to get more carbon and copper into my life through foods I eat. This card over here says Pokino. Kino is a word and Pokemon is a word. They have now joined Kino with Pokemon. And look at that. Take a train. Which arrow are you going? Take a train, take a brain train. Isn't this crazy? And number 4, information. They played with me. Look, and they're showing me Rubik's Cube. inside the baseball. Oh my God. And they're showing, it looks like the queen, but it's two aces. Isn't this incredible? But at the same time, look, the yellow. What is the design of this yellow? I have to show you something. I'm hoping that I have it here. This is something I did not show at all. I showed you already this. You see this diamonds? These diamonds here? I'm trying to find something. I'm not letting you go until that. Here's something else I haven't done. The alphabet, where I start here with 1, or I don't start here at all, and I start letters first and then numbers, or numbers first and then letters. Imagine if this video doesn't upload. This is one way to create it, okay? See the freedom of this one? But now it's no longer free. See how tall she's standing? First we're walking with our head in the air, now we're standing tall. Put an eye here and an eye here, you have the cat. This is the formation it must run. But you walk, or you sleep. You have to have your hips and you have to have your head. Hips and your head. You slide, you put yourself on sliders and you walk between them. This is the division of 20 numbers, the division of the Kabbalah, the division of the Mayans' 20 numbers. This is how you hold yourself apart. This is the grinder within your own system. 13 AC/DC 21. We had 21 outs in which inning of the ball game. They talk about each other. Top of the Twin Towers, the gridlock to walk up to the top story. So you want to walk up? See what they did to Twin Towers? In the other world, it was a grader. It was walking up, meeting the other world in this corner. The corners are on an angle. The Twin Towers had to go up on that angle and meet the corner. And the only way to do it is to put something inside of it and blow it up. Because once it blew up, it captured the energy that is the distance between this side and the other side, capturing the energy and giving each corner its own jolt of the 110 fuse that it needed. But it needed it to go down the whole side. So now let me see. I'm going to go over a few. I'm just looking for one thing that I have in my phone. I'm very upset that I can't find this. That's the way we're overlapped in our minds. This is where we are. You see the skull face in between? This is the skull bones. They don't want your bones to know because you feel it in the bones. Your bones, my friend, are bubbles. Bubbles talk. All bubbles talk. Here's another part. Here's your roulette board. Here's your size. You enter each of your games, one here, then one here, then one here, then one here, then one here, and one down the center. And then one here and one here. They have to join this one. This is your center. 1, 2, 3. This one is divided. This is a 2 and this is a 2. This is a 5, this is a 5. This is an 8, this is an 8. This is 11, this is 11. These are different ones on each side. One would be side 1, one would be side 3. One is on the road and one is home. Or they're both on the road and the home is in the center. This one would go up like an H. This one would create a different design. I showed you on my floor before. Let me see about this one. Okay, I'm going to try and show you on my phone. Okay, just give me a second. Oh, that wasn't my phone. We haven't really got anywhere. I bought this. Weeds of women, rope and dope, to be scared and tear apart. But again, we come together once again. I have done poetry all my life. Poetry all my life. Can we get number 3? The seagull coming to capture one side and the other, making you 3 of 8. That's Hoover Dam. They're flying over, they're emptying the water in here, and they're emptying the water in here. Under a steady flow that's going to pull the energy from the other world all the way up here down. Oh, are we in for a rocking, my friend? Oh my God. We are in for a rocking, but part of the rocking we will not totally feel. It will not entirely be this entire earth in which we might think it is. It's going to be our minds that will rock. Rock and a shock. Because they're going to shock our minds. And when we think the whole world is shaking, nothing's really shaking at all. But we all will feel that it's shaking. We're all going to swear to the truth that it's shaking. But it's not shaking at all. They have severed and cut off in Hoover Dam and wherever else the flow of the water. What is the flow of the water doing around the world in all energy centers? Hydroelectric, waterworks, and monopoly are on number 12 when you dice, but become the 13th of each one each way, 13 and 13. In between them, from 112 to the next 12, is 12, 22, and 4. 14, 16, from one to the other. But it's not 16, it's actually 15 and 16. We are reaching the 5th inning stretch. It's raining outside. It's the 5th inning stretch where both 15s of outs meet, because it's the 15th inning where in between they're watering down Colorado River. Not for the sentiments of the land, but for the sentiments they can pull under the water that come out of the river that have been sitting in copper sentiments in order to pull the energy bolt down towards the earth, severing the actual connection between the other world and the DNA spirit of this world. This is not a good time for ladies. This is not a good time for ladies right now. And I'm assuming refrain from sex. And the reason I'm saying refrain from sex is because our sex organ is always on the works. And if she's on the works all the time, she recycles and she renews and she brings your sperm and she connects your eggs. If the women get their eggs severed, this is not good. It's not a good time to have a child. Your child should be fine inside of you right now, but it's not a good time to try having a child because they're forcing the marriage between Hoover Dam and all those people who got married and Elvis Presley, which is now the hips. They are now trying to sever our hips from our mind. This is what it's telling me. Severing our hips from our mind, which means the balance, our balance on earth. This is the way they come up with these zombies. And because they now have to stand like horses because they're not really connected to the earth. How do I know this is greatly possible? Because I have the disease. There can be nothing shaking at all, but within my mind, if something is shaking, it's shaking. And I feel it. And my legs become like jello, like a snake is moving along the floor like a clam. Have you ever noticed a clam's mouth? It's always the same? Because that's how they cut it open, when they cut open the grinder. Like they cut open an oyster, is the way they open all the way around the clam. And they open the clam from 4 sides, because now the lever in the side of the clam is straight up the center. And the hut of the clam is open. But over here it's not. But it doesn't matter, because the same element is on both sides. So no matter however you turn it back, you're always being connected, and the other side just jumps over. See the way it just jumps over? You're never without it. And it wouldn't matter, because it's your sleep. And that's why when you stay up over a period of time, you get a little bit delirious, because of jumping over this piece. But when it's a triangle, this is the way it becomes, and you barely jump over anything at all. Because you've now brought both sides together. It's ticking back and forth like a grandfather clock, and now there's no more hopping over anything. So what I said is wrong. It goes like this, and then 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 like this. I have a design like that. The energy they were pulling through, what parks are they going right now? Where is the water going? Don't forget, this world was put together in different pieces and parts. The toiletries of one world are not the same toiletries of the other world. Why one person speaks in English with R, and the other one speaks the English with E, and the other one says an I, but I'm in North America, so I say A. The Joker is now coming into the light. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. When we turn it upside down, we have to see that the one eye has come back to the two sides of the two worlds. You see the lines at the end? We can do it this way, and now we have the flag. Where does this flag come from? But don't forget, look at the distance. This is the distance of a flag. This is the distance we're standing it up. Is this laboratory? This, here, becomes a bird. A bird sticking here, a bird sticking here, and it's holding his hand, and my clavicle. The one side of the clavicle, the other side of the clavicle, my head is in between, things are coming together, things are ripped apart. Here's the cards. Let me turn this joker from one joker of color to a joker of no color. Usually, they call that the black and white joker, but this is the color red. See the two red hearts and the two black? The other one has no color. The diamond goes right, the diamond, see this? You put a diamond right here and right here. Let's draw that. Let's draw that. Let's draw that. Before I draw that diamond, I wanted to show you something. Where is it that I wanted to show you? Here, remember I was telling you? Here's your, hey, here's your I. Hey, here's your I, and here's your H. Here's your I and H2O, 101. Do you see the 101? Hey, come on! Okay, these are the bubbles. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if this is your mind. Anyway, so that's the end of that. In between here and here, in between here and here, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7. This is our life. 3 of creation of the mind, in which 7 and 3 make the same. Come on! And the 7 goes into the middle where 5 is. So you have 5 and 7 is 12 into the center. Because man is born. So he gets out of here. And then this becomes 12, and then this is 8. So he has to go 20. So man becomes 20, and the center is 14, equals to 2014. Why? Because you're born at 9. You go into the center of your own life. Your numbers have disappeared from 1 and 2 because they became the 7th gate. The 7th gate was in the 9th position. 7 and 9 is 16, 1 and 6 is... Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so we're doing this. We did this. Okay. Now the other part I was mentioning was number 80. Hey. Okay, is number 80. Okay, and that was 4 squadrons. This is your posts. This is your posts. These are 4 squadrons, here, 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 and here. 20 each squadron, plus 2, 22, 22, 22, 22. The total is 88. We live 66. We minus 22 because 1 is in the face up here, becomes 44. We're in this period right now, 44 and 44 is 88. Forget about this 44, because this 44 is 132, and this just tells me we're back in a row in order again. That's why we multiplied by 4 and we multiplied by 3. The Mars and the Earth, okay? The Earth, 120, 120, 120. How do I know? Because pull from 1 to 15, again the 15 equals to 120. When you add 20 to the letter P, OP equals 136, and these are the football scoring. This is God, my friends. This is what he scores. We're coming right here. This is the ship that's going out. This is the ship that's going out. Okay? We showed you what 80 did. Right? Here's your 80. 4 piles of 20. Don't you remember the group for pot? Remember the group for pot, 420? How about 420? How about 24 hours in a day? Plus 80 equals 104. 2 times 52 weeks equals 104 days on the weekend. We have 260 left over. 20 times 13, which is 10 and 7 and 6. This is what the Mayan talk about. They have a board that's 20 by 6, 1, and 6, 13. Okay? 6, 1, and 6, 13 by 20 equals 260. The Mayans say 260 ton of what they say. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of these cards. Okay? Now, this is utterly fantastic what's going on. You see, is it real, is it not real? Who is Mr. Tackpans? He feels what he feels. He's an entire jerk-off, whatever you want to say. But deep in my heart, this energy that I get from it is what pushes me. I believe. I've never believed so much in my life. When I first started this, I knew this was something different than what anybody else is doing. But the funny thing is, everybody has already done it. Every time you play a game, your mind moves in the formation that I make my mind in every single game. So you've done what I've done before, and you know it's there. What I did want to show you is, can you just let me, I just want to see if I have my purse here. Okay, and my purse. I'll probably walk away and the cats will probably eat my jacket. Where's my jacket? Where's my jacket? Where's my jacket? My jacket. I didn't go away, don't worry. I made a design. No, I don't have it. That's okay. I made a design, okay, and I'm going to make the design right now in front of you. I'm going to show you the roulette wheel. Still drinking the same coffee 3 hours later. Hey guys, I can do this for fuck. This is insane. This is insane. And it's so easy. 1 and 1, 1 and 2. What's in between? What's behind? What color is it? What's the number of the color? And all of a sudden we remember the numbers of the colors. Then we know where the colors are be found. Is it in horse racing? Is it on your shirt? Is it plaid coat? You know, and we can be about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go to 3. If you go to 2, then 2 is like 4. So multiply it by 2. So we have the average of both sides. What's in the center? The center is turning everything around. Is it the outside that's turning, or is it the inside of the jet? Well, if the jet is held up by a bolt on the center of it, it'll be the outside that'll do the spraying. And you see this at all the car washes. And the multiple colors. Imagine if they all ran one hose. How many angles can you stick a hose out of something like Rubik's Cube without running into the other hose? Here it goes, guys. This is roulette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is not good. So we're going to go to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what do you want to do? You want to play baseball? You want to play hockey? Are we on the Titanic? Where are we? Are we on the level of Titanic? Is Rose coming out? Because everybody knows Rose is a thorn in the bush, right? Rose knew from the Titanic. Rose knew about the Titanic before it happened. Rose knew that the Titanic was going to crash. Rose knew that her family was going to rob every other family in the Titanic, and went up to the captain and he said, "Aye, aye, sir." And he said it twice because Grover Cleveland came back. Grover Cleveland, Mississippi, and the captain of RMST Titanic, Tighten Up. So she knew because of Grover Cleveland, and Grover Cleveland's number, 22, 23, 24, are all the numbers from the amount of people that were on board to the amount of people that passed away on board. Grover Cleveland is all the numbers. So this, my friend, was a hoax. This was a takeover. When you'd say on your driving school, hard right? Hard right in football, right? When you say hard right in football, okay, that expression, when you say Titanic, and you say hard right, because it was right that it went into it, right? Turn left or hard right? Is it a hard left? Because they turned the Titanic football was a hard right into the ice. It was a dice, and dice them up, and Berg. Christa Berg, Spanish train. Rosenberg. Rothberger for Pittsburgh, the team. Now we put quarterbacks towards teams, towards captains of the ship. Who are the quarterbacks of the last 100 years for every single team in college and NFL? And before you even begin, Just give me the MVP of the quarterback of every single year. Then give me the own team MVP of the team that won the Super Bowl. And we'll know who was quarterbacking and what happened on Titanic. Because Titanic, that ball is the stern and the bow. They said hard right because he took a gun and put it up his rear butt. And he says you go or you don't go. And he already knew from the start of this, the captain, that he was already going to crash the boat. He already knew what he was going to do. He didn't know the end result, but they were talking about the propeller. But I was thinking about the propeller. I was thinking about the thickness on the boat. All wrong. All wrong. I'd have to go recreate the boat to know it. So when they said hard right, they had to rebuild Jack. And they had to say to Jack, to 1, to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5. He's already 5 in advance. When he comes on the iceberg, he's 5 in advance. I have to do it like this. How does he move with the iceberg? This is the pyramid between him and the iceberg now. How does that ship have to come into that iceberg to rip a hole in its side right over here? It no longer makes any sense. This does not make any sense what happened. Something is wrong. Because this is the captain's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now would we go 1, 2, 3, 4 in here? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we have the captain's ship. This is from the underneath. I'm showing this because there's a chance that something came from underneath the water. Something may have come up from underneath the water. If you take Titanic and you restock it just on something in the middle by a support. How do we do this? All we do is make a bubble on top. Now we've got the average of the ship. So we take it over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do we do this? Because this is one area, this is 2 areas, this is 3 areas, but in roulette, there's 12 altogether, just like the calendar. So we have to do the same 12 as before. Now we're on this. Now we're on this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do this. 1, 2. Okay? Okay, do you understand what we're doing right now? We're connecting the vibrations from the top of the ship to the bottom of the ship. And this, okay, is what comes in. Each side is able to come in and connect on each side because this is the center. This is the center hull. Okay, so now we would take this one, and this one. The same thing we did there. 1, 2, 3. Put an eye, put an eye, put an eye. This is basically how your brain would work, okay? You can have the eye up here, the eye down here, whichever way you want. This is the way the brain works. C-O-A, C-O-A. Then in between here is your center barge, okay? And this one over here is exactly the way the roulette is. When you come over here, this is 9, 10, 11. If this is number 10, and this is number, if this is number 9, 11, okay, if this is number 11 over here, that means this is number 8 over here. 8 and 11, they touch together. This is your home plate, this is your split. It's hard to describe what's happening, but this is... You see this? I'm trying to show you this for another reason. CUC. This is the center of your Titanic, okay? This is the same thing as the roulette wheel. Now what are we going to do? Boy, this is like my worst video. Okay, now, do you see this queen? This is the Queen of Hearts. She has all black X's. You can see 3 permanent X's and then partials that run away, showing a continuation. This is her flower. All the queens have 2 eyes. Do you notice the way the head is? They're all perfect, the heads. See the way the heads are perfect? They're all masks. They're all masks because these are all electronics. It's not green, it's yellow. This is the energy of the red blood, of the electronic, of the life and the mind. Here, here, here. See this? Because there's 2 different levels. It goes like this, and then like this. But it's 2 different sides. You can see the band from 2 different sides. So this is your queen. See the egg she has around her foremarriage? He has the twisted DNA. They all have something different. But the queens are all holding the flowers. These are the electronics of man. This is man's electronics. Here's the jack. You see the jack? This? Hold on. I'm putting you down for a second. Hold on. So I bought these cards expecting to have a hockey player on each side, and I get nothing. You see this card over here? You see the way your flower is split? When you turn the Rubik's Cube, one time in the center, on top, you've got 2 corners, 4 corners, 8 corners, underneath 8, 8, 8. You have 24 corners. So this is your 24 hours. If I turn the center one, and you turn them all different, I now have 8 on this one, 8 on this one, 8 on this one. Top and bottom 2, top and bottom 2, top and bottom 2, top and bottom 2. 8 on each one, 24. Now if I turn them this way, it's something different, but it's the same corners, it's just on a different side. This is through your hips. You can't do this, otherwise you're walking. So now if you do them only in the center, you see, if you did it in the center this way like we showed, it's 8, 8, and 8, and this one is now 2 on 2 corners is 8. This one is 2 on 4 corners 8. This one is 16. This one is 8, doubled, and this one is 8, 16. These ones are working together. Now we look at these jacks one more time. Same thing. Now it's either the bones or we're being plugged in somehow. You know when you plug in over here and you plug it in here, you put in the 2 plugs, you put the 2 plugs in, or you plug a 110, how are we plugged up? You see this one is missing the plug in the center. So this diamond, okay, needs to go inside a heart like this. A diamond and a heart come together and it goes inside the heart. That's what I wanted to show you before. That's what I wanted to show before. We have the heart. Or, you know, we could just do this and then we'd have a V and then we'd have a jack. See the jack? If we did that with the jack and did that with the jack, we'd have 1 V and then we'd have 1 J and 1 J. So that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 42. Anyways, that's what it would actually be. When we do this, we end up with the seagull, or the V, or the 3 parts of the heart of life. Each side. You've got to reconstruct the heart now. Okay, so what was I going to show you next? Oh yes, I was going to show you the heart, and now we're going to put the diamond inside the heart, which is the neck and all the strands. We plugged up over here. Now you're plugged up. Now we can make your legs come off of each side. And from each corner, we can have an arm. Or his long hair. Your mustache on each side. And what do you have? The lion? I know I did this really shitty, but you know what? Did I get anything done at all? That's it. We're ending it right now. Everything is a key. Everything is a badge. And the biggest thing is the Oakland Raiders team, because it's black and it's white. The Raider team, we have to start connecting black and white. We have to understand, where was the 15th and 16th state? Where was the 15th and 16th state? And where were the states when the presidents were there? I would really like to certainly know the 41st state and the 39, 40, and 41. How about going 38 to 42 states? Because that's the lockup. Because we had to go around again. 10 in Monopoly, 10 in Monopoly, 10 in Monopoly, 10 in Monopoly. Actually says if we overlapped, we'd have to do 11. So that would give me already to the 44th, 46th state. So if I'm going to go to the 46th state, 64 is no good, 46, 23rd state, and back to the 23rd president again. So we need to know the 23rd and the 43rd state. 23 and 43. Just let's do it that way. I don't want to get too close to where we are now. And 23 is because of the number of creation, and 23 creates 56, which is the doghouse, which recreates 41. 23 recreates 41. 56, 23 creates 56, and 56 creates 41. So that means we'd like to know the 5th and the 6th state, the 11th state, and the 30th state, and the 41st state. Now we got it all together. I don't want to know the rest, because the state of everything that's going on right now is they're compiling energies right now. They're pulling energies from back surfaces from two ends of the world. We're all going to feel this at one time. We have no choice. It's like a slingshot what's going to go on right now. And don't forget, this is only a book by Mr. Tackpans. I'm completely not telling you anything at all except for a story. Deep in my heart, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. From the age of 5 and up. You may get your mind at 4, but it's only from the age of 5 and up. The minute 9 birth comes out, he slingshots to number 5. The 9 birth, the minute he blocks that nose and he can unconnect the umbilical cord, you're into this world, my friend. You're right away number 5. You're a basic electronic baby. 5, 1. Did you know that? Baby is 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 5. 5 and 2 and 1 memory. Because now you're going to start building whatever's in your head. They built us. They built us. We grew of what they created. Isn't it fantastic? Thank you for watching. We'll be coming back in a short while, but I'm very unhappy that these cards that I spent $5 on didn't tell me any more than this. But I will design you something from this. Oh my God, I see it now. Oh no. Don't you see it when the train bells ring? There's a bell inside of it. They're holding the bell across everybody's neck. The Liberty Bell. They're holding the bell because it's a memory? Oh my God. Oh my God. Now I'm starting to see it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come. Come into the house. Come into my house. Come. This is for all of us. This is for all of us. Look. Now I got 3 of them. What are they doing? What did they do? That's what they did. There's a bell in every single one, and there's space between the bell. and I've designed this before. This is your collarbone. This is the all-seeing eye. Between the NHL hockey cards, no. It's not NHL. Look, this is the eye. This is going one way. This is going the other way. They're both skating towards the same area. So what does this mean? This is a bell, and this is a smaller bell between the two sides. These are bells. These are three eyes. Here on your corners, it's your 11, 11, 11. Now the cards are 26 and 26. How do I build this? What am I building? Oh my God. This is the all-seeing eye. I, and I. 5. Y is 2, 5. It's Y. The all-seeing eye equals to EYE, right, is 5, 2, 5, 5. 2, 5, 5. That's one day after the Twin Towers, the 52 weeks of the 55 weeks. What does that mean? January 21st. 121. 11 times 11 equals 121. January 21st, the all-seeing eye is open. They're opening the all-seeing eye by January 21st. What does that mean to you? How many more days in advance must they set up this world over here? This is the world. This is the chute of the waterfall. This is the 10 Commandments. They're breaking into this world somehow through inside of us. They're going to be able to get inside of us. Somehow they're inside of us. What are they doing? What's going to be happening? What do you see happening? What does that mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? This is the coin. This is a coin that's going around our neck. The coin in Hebrew. This is the coin. This is the butterfly. This is the butterfly. This is the butterfly. They're going to be connecting. This is the not the thyroid gland. This is the thyroid gland. Somehow the thyroid gland owns us. Mine is not working. They want me to operate. This is the thyroid gland. Somehow. 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 Looks like a samurai of some sort, eh? This is the jack. This is the house of Jacob. Okay? When the house of Jacob, this is the tree. Don't you see the tree now? Don't you see the tree? This is the tree. Something to do with a tree house. Now, this is the branch. Okay, this is the branch. They're splitting the tree up between two sides. They're eliminating something from the other world. And this is the energy where it's going to come in right here. Somehow this is a tree. This is a tree. This, now that I look at it a little bit longer, Hoover Dam is going to be an energy site in which they'll be controlling all the minds of the world from one energy site. They're pulling the wool over our eyes. They're going to control us. This is Hoover Dam. This is where the water breaks through. This is the way the bricks are made up with the mesh wiring. This is the brain besides of the two sides, the energy that will split the center. There's something coming, my friends, very soon. The I is 52. When you say I and I, it's 52, 55. And then it's 52, 55. Here and here is 1, here and here is 1, here is 4, here is 1. It's 1 for 1, 11, which is the actual N and K. KN. What does that mean, KN to you? What does it mean? 1 equals 9, and the other one equals 3. Again, this is Hoover Dam. What does NK equal to? I've been seeing this lately. Nickel, plutonium, K. This is what this equals to. This is what this equals to. 39 is what it is in the 7th inning stretch. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 plus 3 is 12. When it all began, it was 1 and 7, and it was 2 and 7. And when we end, it'll be 3 and 7, because this is Nibiru, and they'll be having 3 and 9. Now 3 and 7 and 3 and 9, 3 and 7 is right here. This is the mind. 3 and 9 is what they want to control. But this is Nibiru coming to save our minds. They're coming to save our minds while we're on this planet. This one is 35, this one's 37, this is 39. We do this one here, okay? That's how it goes. And at the same time, we would... No, let me do it over here. Okay, let me do it over here. K. Now, if we wanted to do it upside down, it'd be like this, which would actually be an N with a V, or a Z with a V, a K with an A. Now, we no longer have the same thing. We have an A, and we have an E. We have an I and an E. K, A, I, E. But A, I, E. There's too much mix-up. There's too much mix-up. Let's go to the next blur. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, if we do the backwards one, the forward one, we go 1, 2, 3. So it'd be like this. So if I did N, and then I did K, and K. Now I did K, and K. I'm trying to think exactly what they're doing. Anyway, somehow I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. They're putting a dagger inside of us. They're putting some dagger inside our mind. They won't have to touch us, but we won't be able to handle ourselves. We'll be completely out of control. When you do this, this is on the roulette table. They're putting the race in us. They're dividing. We are the people, but now we're the angels. We're the angel residents. We're the electronic angel residents. They're putting this leg on us, which would make us 7X, which is the cycle of the Mark Rodin cycle. But let me do the K again. Let me do the K again. And let me put the N on the K the way it should go, because you're supposed to do it the easy way. What do I end up with? What do I end up with? I end up with 1 DBD. KDBD. KDV. DK. DBD. Oh my God, this is the DBD. You see the R? Well, here's another R. This is how we make the DBD. We'll be resting comfortably in peace, connected on the prism of their choice, going down their railroad tracks. We'll be Klondike. KD is 29. KD is 29. This is 22. 51. 51. They're connecting 2 games in one. 102. This is Valentine's. This is November 16th. They want it to be up and running by the 21st of January. We are now going to be on the 16th of November. We have 45 days till January 1st, and then 21. 66. 6 and 6 railroad, because they call these the railroad cars when you throw them. They want it up and running by the 16th. They have to make it happen. Whatever they're trying to do, they have to make it happen. Okay, this time it's going to be a little bit done. Thank you for watching this segment of Mr. Takpens. I hope you enjoyed the story that I make up out of blue that makes no sense and goes absolutely nowhere. Don't lie to yourself. Wherever you want to go now, whatever you pickpocketed out of this video and watched, I appreciate it and thank you very much. Sometimes I have to empty out, but I have a lot more to write, but the next time I come to a video, you ain't going to sit around very long before I jump into the numbers. And I'm going to explain to it the best of my ability, which means either it's going to be the way you can understand it, or I'm not going to do it at all. Because I think you deserve a big one after this, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.